And desktop audio. Alright, well that's beyond stupid. Hello? Okay. See, this right here. Hey, Seed. Desktop audio. Alright, well that's beyond. There we go. If you wonder why at the start of every live stream I always go audio check or whatever, it's for that. Sometimes your recording software does some stupid shit. And sometimes it selects the default device as literally just parentheses default. And I gotta go in there and I gotta tell it, hey, my microphone is my default. And it's like, oh, hey, thanks, bro. And I'm like, why would your default ever be default? Shouldn't your default something that makes noise? Not just the setting labeled default? Whatever. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Oh, that tea is hot, but it's the perfect amount of hot where it's warm on my little body. It is cold where I live. It is very cold. In Fahrenheit, American temperature, it's water freezes at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. It is -8 where I live. Fuck that. Fuck that entirely. Sound off or is it just you? Shouldn't be anymore. It's water freezes at 32. No. Audio's back. Move? What move? Oh, move away from the cold? Yeah. Yeah. If you're just starting the stream, I did an audio check and then I didn't hear myself, so I had to troubleshoot that quickly. I'll start doing stream stuff if like we can get like a couple people telling me the audio is fine. Because now I'm confused and making sure Corn Maze isn't live and we're not having issues. Stream. I did an audio check and then yeah, okay. I can still hear me. We're doing good. -8 degrees Fahrenheit be -22 Celsius. Oh god. Gross. Gross, yuck, disgusting. And the puppet factory just being moved. I mean, quiet, not off. Okay. I got it, Corn Maze. I think the audio's fine. Let me double check. That is 93, as it should be. This is normal. But it did forget what my mic was, so one sec. Advanced audio properties. I think it's normal. I just turned you up so it's Gucci. All right, cool. Hey, Spotify. Let's do this. We have our new player tournament tonight. Woo! New player tournament. Oh my god. That's crazy. There's my Discord. Well, I get you to the right monitor. Bam. There it is. We have 4 rounds. Don't look at the spoilers. Don't look at that. But we have 4 rounds of people playing. And then at the end, if anybody's tied for first place, we'll do a little mini playoffs thing. If like 8 fucking people are tied, we'll probably do some free-for-alls. I don't know. So hopefully there aren't too many ties. But we did have like 20 people sign up tonight, so that is quite a lot. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times 2 is 18 people showed up tonight. So that's quite a lot. As you can see, some of round 1 is already done, meaning we have replays to cast. If you are watching this stream and you are in this tournament, I will try and cast everybody's games at least once. But you have to send me those replays, otherwise I don't know what I'm casting. So just send me a DM in Discord with the replay in it, and I'll look through them. I will try and get at least one of everybody's, and then after that, we'll cast anything that looks interesting if I have time, but we'll prioritize getting everybody on screen at least once. Good? Good. Looks like first thing up is Dark Elves, Wood Elves from Devil and Spy Rat. Is that the High Beastmaster in a chariot? I've heard that's becoming more popular. God, tea is good. In the summer, when it's all warm outside, you're like, eh, tea. But when it's winter and cold, oh, that's good tea. Siege finals, campaign finals, yeah. Just run a quick campaign. All right, we got the High Beastmaster on a Scourge on a Chariot. I wouldn't say this is meta. It's not like in every Dark Elf game or even a majority, but I am seeing it more and more, so it is increasing while still being an interesting little tech piece. 2 other Scourge Runner chariots, a whole bunch of Bleak Swords on the front line, then Coldwell Knights, Dark Riders, and 2 Bolt Throwers. Try and keep the Wood Elves honest. We also have a Beastcaster with just Flock of Doom, very popular spell right now. On the other side for the Wood Elves, War Dancer with Azrai Spear front line, including Loix Tricksters, some Dryads as well, a Glade Guard in the back, the Enigmas of Gairon, a Glade Captain, a Glade Lord, and a Spellsinger of Life with just Earthblood. Pretty elite Wood Elf build. I'm very concerned they're going to get run over by cavalry. Not having any mobility or mass can make it very hard to defend these archers. Scourge Runners using the chariot part of their name, going straight into the Glade Guard. 2 of them attacking at the same time takes out about half HP from that Glade Guard on the charge. They're still moving forward as the Enigmas of Gairon get in there. In comes a quick Praven off Rema, not using it for the missile resist debuff, just netting them in front of the Zotes. They'll take a ton of damage, they might even get killed off, but I am very worried. Usually a reason you don't see these Glade Captains is they're okay melee combatants themselves, but they're just very expensive on a roster that's already very expensive. It can be hard to justify making your build that narrow. Wardens of Sithril getting a regrowth from the Enigmas of Gairon, plus an Earthblood, and the Enigmas give themselves a Flesh of Stone, making them incredibly tanky in this key little battle here. Having elite Spears and Zodes fighting back against 2 Coldwell Knights is actually a really, really good trade for the Wood Elves, so they're going to enjoy that quite a lot. Archers are entirely murdered. Dryads are also mostly off the battlefield, so it looks like the Wood Elves are just relying on the Enigmas and a bunch of War Dancers to carry this game. High Beastmaster tried to charge in, regretted it, and ran away. The Zotes, now they're Flesh to Stone, shenanigans wore off. They are starting to take a significant amount of damage. Murderous Prowess is active for quite a while, and while it is active, Coldwell Knights are a whole different kind of deadly and unbreakable. Earthblood Caster trying to just spam out those Earthbloods. I think it just got canceled, which honestly is a good thing, because that Earthblood was not going to be very effective. It was only going to hit the Glade Lord. Elsewhere, the Glade Captain almost sniped out the Sorceress of Beast, then got peeled by Bleak Swords, and now it looks like the High Beastmaster is trying to snipe out the Elf Mage, but Elf Casters on foot are some of the tankiest things on this planet. We can see the Wood Elves' elite infantry are fading, routing at actually surprisingly high HP, considering they're elite Wood Elves. So I'm a little disappointed in them for that. Enigmas of Gairon are also routing, and the Dark Elves are nowhere close to routing. Look at that difference. War Dancers with a quarter HP, negative leadership. Coldwell Knights with a quarter HP, 104 leadership. Very different vibe here. Dark Elf leadership with Murderous Prowess active versus Wood Elf leadership. Wood Elves in general actually usually have quite good leadership. That was a little odd they're routing so quickly, but I wouldn't hate for some of the Wood Elves' more high-tier infantry to get better leadership, because I feel like Dryads are as resilient leadership-wise as War Dancers and even Blade Singers, so I don't know. Elf Casters on foot are too tanky? Yeah, they're very hard to hit. If you hit them, they'll die super quick, sure, but they're low mass. They just get hit and fly around the battlefield, and when they don't get hit, they're very tiny, so a lot of things just constantly reposition instead of swinging. And then even when they swing, they're elves, so they have decent leadership and melee defense compared to like human casters or Scaven casters or green-skinned foot casters. High Beastmasters suggest the existence of low Beastmasters. Scotch, you think you're being clever, but I counter with Clan Molder. Fucking got him. Got him. Everybody F in the chat for Scotch. Hang on. Hang on. Got him. All right, we'll start up a poll. I don't know why I'm in a trolling mood tonight, but I'm in a trolling mood. Let's carry on. People are bored of my shit already. Cold Knights did great. Bleak Swords of Dreadspears did fine. Scourge and Chariots did fine. For Spy Rat, the hero core just doesn't get a lot of value, unfortunately. And the Wood Elves really need more width because they're so freaking expensive. Glade Guard didn't get a lot of shots off, unfortunately. Like I said, they didn't have a lot to defend them at the moment. And then the Zotes did fine. War Dancers have 70 leadership while Eternal Guard have 80. 80 leadership. Sorry. 80 leadership on War Dancer Azrai Spears. 70 on War Dancers. You're right, Phoenix King. That's so stupid. Why do Eternal Guard have 80 leadership and War Dancers have 70? That's messed up. On to the next game. Empire versus Wood Elves. More Wood Elves. And there's more Wood Elves up here. What? What's going on with all the Wood Elves around here? Spotify just sent me a replay. Thank you. So was that Theodor Bruckner I see? Alright, for an Empire heavy cav build, we have Demigryph Knights, Knights of the Black Rose, a front line of Spearmen, Royal Altar of Gryphites. We have a Jade Wizard with just regrowth, and then Theodor Bruckner and an Archlector. The Archlector just has the Hammer of Sigmar. Okay. The other side for... what was that? I thought I heard a net. No net, just silliness. For the Wood Elves, Dryad frontline, Eternal Guard as well, which is apparently better than War Dancers leadership-wise, and I'm not mad about it. A bunch of Glade Guard, and then we have another Hero Hammer in a Waystalker, a Glade Lord with Pravenoth Rhema, Pendulum, Melkots, and Earthblood for a Branch Wraith. We do have a Great Eagle, and a Treekin for a little bit of mass. Again, though, the Wood Elves not going with a lot of mass, so I worry that the Empire Cav will have free reign to just Psycho Charge over them. Glade Riders are trying to hold these guys in place. No real hope for them to win this fight. They're versus 2 Demigryph Knights, which is much more than they can handle. But they're trying to just hold things in place while the Glade Guard fire over the top. Some Empire Spearmen managed to sneak through the front line. That is unacceptable, considering how many Wood Elves there are. How many Wood Elf spears there are. That should have been stopping them, but Empire are crafty little lads. Bruckner and the Archlector in the thick of it, fighting with Treekin. I won't be happy about that, but won't take too much damage either. It'll just take a while. In come the cavalry. Demigryph Knights couldn't take a lot of damage from the Glade Guard, Starfire Shafts. Really good armor-piercing ammunition. Ooh, these are regular Glade Guard. Yeah, that won't do too much, admittedly. But now is where I get concerned for the Wood Elves. They're about to run out of sauce. Dryads are beating the front line pretty easily, especially the ones that have Treekin support, but we'll have to get these Dryads back and just really harass the cavalry. Most cavalry doesn't like sitting in infantry and just grinding. Knights of the Black Rose are actually one of the better ones at it because they have 50 melee defense, which is pretty darn hard to get through. Wood Elf Spears are one of the cheapest spears in the games to get armor piercing. That'll at least help them. Archlector is still trying to get through. He has a Branch Wraith or Discount Drycha fighting him, as well as a Glade Lord. We will not win that fight. And Bruckner is thoroughly locked down in Treekin. He technically has a way out if he banks right really hard, but I don't know if the player has noticed that yet. So for now, he's just got Liar's Bane pop and he's chilling. Archlector is getting sniped out. In the back, a Jade Wizard is trying to disrupt Glade Guard, but he's also not winning that fight. However, a really nice Knights of the Black Rose charge should bail him out. Get your feet under you. You have 70 speed. Act like it. There's a charge. And boom goes the Glade Guard. Glade Guard have some decent melee defense for archers. 28 is not nothing, so it will take the Knights of Black Rose a little bit to get through them, but still, a charge is a charge, archers are archers, yada yada. A Great Eagle is back. It is apparently almost dead. I don't really know how that happened, but I'll accept it because I have to. Archlector is about to get sniped out. That doesn't really matter. Honestly, the healing hero is more important than the Archlector Lord. TBH. As another regrowth comes down for the Demigryph Knights, Wood Elves are slowly falling behind. Their winning frontline and winning hero core cannot compare to winning cavalry. Grand Hammer of Sigmar is out for Knights of Black Rose, giving them pretty darn good stats. 46 melee attack to accompany their 50 melee defense as they surround the Great Eagle and try and kill it off before it can kill the Archlector. Look at it staring him down. Just a quick question. Who's usually the good guy in this situation? Is it the noble eagle fighting back against a horde of armored black knights with skull helmets and skull shields? Just saying. You might be rooting for the bad guys. Mr. Bruckner is fighting a Branch Wraith. I don't think he does... Yeah, he doesn't have natural fire damage. He would need Liar's Bane? Something gives him fire damage, doesn't it? Stormlance. Got it. He would have to have Stormlance active to get his extra fire damage. The Treekin are still fighting back. Kyle with the 1 membership. What up, Kyle? But Demigryph's coming back in. Even without anti-large, these guys do have significant armor piercing, so the Treekin will be in pretty bad straits if they get into a contested fight with those Demigryphs. We still have the Royal Drift Gryphites out who are actually rather healthy. The balance of power is curious. It's looking close to even, slightly Empire favored, but I'm trying to figure out where the Wood Elves even have an angle. I guess they have a full health Waystalker and a full health Branch Wraith. Do those really count for that much? Arrow of Kronos hits the Archlector. 91 HP! Can any of them get another arrow onto him? Dun, dun, he's about to get regrowth. That arrow has to come in quick. There goes the little blossom thing. Takes a big shot. I saw it go from 250 down to 101. But there are no follow-up shots. Archlector will get to safety. And the Empire continue to run through the Wood Elves. Dryads, Eternal Guard, everybody routing in all directions. Look at that nasty charge from the Demigryph Knights onto these Eternal Guard. From half HP down to a third very quickly. And Bruckner finishes sniping out the Glade Lords. Now the Wood Elves leadership is going to take a hit once that Glade Lord dies. Still have a Waystalker shooting at the Archlector, but it's not going to be enough. I mean, you still have 2 Demigryph Knights. You have the ROR Demigryph Knight with halberds that's decently healthy considering how late in the game we are. We even have some Spearman Chaff. We have Bruckner. We have an Archlector. The Empire's fine. I don't know what this balance of power's thinking. It's on drugs. Hans, are we the baddies? A bad day to be a Wood Elves. Cavalry yet again bodies the archers. In the basic rock, paper, scissors of this game, yeah, cavalry usually kills archers pretty quickly. Alright, our mild teasing of Scotch is over. We appreciate Scotch, because he spends money on this channel. I can tell because his name is green. If you don't spend money on my channel, I have no respect for you. And that is going to be army losses. Oh! Oh! I have a bunch of messages. Why? Who dares message me? Oops, shit, didn't get to catch values. It's gone. I have to make them up. Archlector got 100. Knights of the Black Rose both got 7,000. Demigryph Knights got about 60 combined. Royal Drift Gryphites got about 75. Bruckner also got 8,000, and then the Spearmen got collectively 1 gold value. For the Wood Elves, they got 0. They got literally no gold value except for the Great Eagle. He got probably like 17. Completely accurate. Perfect. Next up, Sigvald versus Thagaraki. Does that imply advanced rock, paper, scissors? Yeah. It's like rock, paper, scissors, kid scissors, metallic scissors, scissors that are pink, scissors that are blue, scissors that go swizzle, scissors that are broken. Alright, sorry, 1 second. Somebody's looking for someone. Did they find Bongo? Yeah, they found Bongo. They don't need me. Okay, sorry. Back to the Wood Elves. And we have Nurgle versus the Wood Elves. For the Wood Elves, we have Glade Rider, Hagbane Tips, a whole bunch of Glade Guard, Hagbane Tips, Starfire Shafts. And then we have a front line of Eternal Guard and Dryads, Draika, with her Summon and Melkoths. For Nurgle, 3 Marauder Horsemen, then some dogs, some Chaos Furies, a front line of Chaos Warriors and Marauders, 1 Chaos Knight, Kha'Zix the Befouled, and a Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle with Fleshy Abundance. The new player meta is what else now? The new player meta changes wildly from tournament to tournament. It feels like all the new players get together and decide a faction for the night. I still remember one tournament that was like everyone was playing Dark Elves and everyone brought at least 1 Blackguard of Naggarond, and I didn't know what had prompted this. I can't believe I went out and bought food instead of subscribing to hummus. I'm more important than food. It's true. The Wood Elf Archers are easily deterring the Marauder Horsemen of Nurgle and their throwing axes, but will not be so easily denied as the Chaos Knights with their 120 armor and bronze shields. Now, when they turn those beautiful bronze shields backwards and they get shot in the butt, that's not as great. Necromancer gifting us 20 subs. Holy shit. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you, even if I'm not great at showing emotion with my voice. Which new player term was that? Probably last year in the summer. It was a while ago. Anyway, enough of that. We gotta talk about this game, lads. The Chaos Knights are getting bogged down on the front line. They've almost gotten through the Eternal Guard, but not quite. You can see they're still trying to get in the back line, still trying to stop some of these Glade Guard from shooting. Fury's also doing it, but this is just so much fire to get through. There are so many archers. This is a classic Anticity Vampire Coast build, but it's just Wood Elves. It's like, aha! If I bring 12 archers and you bring 5 cavalry, that means I still have 7 archers shooting at you. Fleshy Abundance did hit the Chaos Knights of Nurgle, but they were on fire at the time from some of the Starfire shafts, so they only got half the healing. The Chaos Knights are doing actually a pretty decent job saturating the backline and stopping a lot of Wood Elf archers from firing, but there are just still so many of them shooting. And the slow Warriors of Chaos taking forever to get through. This is my biggest complaint about Nurgle, is they're tanky, but why? You know? And now you're going to be like, they're tanky for tanky's sake. Cool, but like, in battlefield control terms, having a defensive, hardy, tanky front line is useful if you're defending something, but Nurgle also doesn't have any ranged units to defend besides a Soul Grinder, which, checks notes, can defend its fucking self. It's a decent melee duelist, very fast and causes terror. It's gonna be okay. So, Nurgle's roster does struggle with their front line, doesn't really accomplish much. Plague Bearers, Chaos Warriors, Chosen, all very tanky, all very slow. Kha'Zix tries to dive in, got a little bit of damage onto Dryka before some Glade Riders and Hagbane tips peeled him off. They won't do much damage, but they will just hold him away from Dryka while the rest of the Nurgle army takes a shit ton of damage. We have already lost one of the Chaos Knights. Another one is threatening to leave, but a Fleshy Abundance should save their morale. Getting a ton of healing tends to do that as they continue to try and shut down these archers. Now, I've been singing the Wood Elves' praises. The only thing I could say that could get concerning is if their archers get shut down, this build has literally no damage. Some half-assed Eternal Guards, a half-health Dryka, some Skirmish Cav. That won't really stop Nurgle in the late game. So if you can successfully kill off all these Glade Guard, you'll be just fine. There was an if. In my defense, there was an if. I didn't say they would shut down all those archers, as Kha'Zix is about to get a lungful of those deadly archers. I just want to see like a nasty volley hit him. Turn, you stupid elves, turn! Nice Awakening of the Wood blocking my vision. Assholes. Anyway, I guess no one's going to shoot Kha'Zix. Still have some Marauders, still have some Chaos Warriors wandering up. Chaos Sorcerer Lords also trying to stop them, but man, that is a lot of archers that are all still very much alive. We have 3 literally full health archers in the back, plus some Glade Riders. Glade Riders, Glade Guard, Eternal Riders. All Wood Elves have the same fucking names. Chaos Warriors marching forward, but again, some Glade Riders are going to guard the Glade Guard and keep the Glade Guard safe from the Chaos Warriors of Nurgle Guard. You're being intentionally obtuse. Not by a lot, and that's kind of the annoying part. Wood Elves need more diverse names. Frontline for Nurgle is even starting to go bad. Even some of their Chaos Warriors are routing. Last healthy Chaos Knight is back in. Another Fleshy Abundance onto him, but yet again he is on fire. That constant poke of the Starfire shafts, just mitigating all the healing Nurgle wants to do, is pretty brutal. There they go. Running off Marauder Horsemen. And Melkots might get the Chaos Knights of Nurgle to rout. Kazik's still alive, somehow. And Marauders reached these Glade Riders. So the Glade Riders are getting pushed back. Dryads fade away. That was apparently Drych's summon. We are getting some archers back in the backfield. They need new orders to rally. There they go. Can someone just shoot that asshole? Why is Kazik still alive? I'm getting pissed. Marauders getting poked down slowly, gently. I really feel like we should be getting more DPS than this. So I wonder who's not firing and why. Ah, you're trying to fire up and over a dune and over your own troops. Yeah, that's going to be difficult. You will get obstructed if you try and do that. Kazik is still trying to stop people. And I do see this a lot with people who try this type of build. It's working. Like, clearly the Wood Elves are going to win 99% of the time here. But they do need to focus up and actually, like, kill off things. Because they're kind of shooting Kazik, then they're kind of shooting the Lord, then they're kind of shooting the Marauders, then they're kind of shooting the Chaos Warriors and Nurgle. In a closer game, that'll really hurt you with the strategy type. Because you need to trade entire units. Like, if they spend a 1,400 gold Chaos Knight killing one Glade Guard, all your other Glade Guard need to kill that and punish it. So then the trade was a 650 Archer for a 1,400 gold Cav. And then the next thing disrupts your backline, you trade for that too and whatever. Spreading out your damage like this leaves a bunch of things kind of alive to keep disrupting your archers, and if your archers aren't firing, you are going to lose. Again, that's in a closer game. This one is far enough out of hand that Nurgle is going to be fine. Kazik is starting to rout, the Marauders are starting to rout, still the Chaos Warriors are hanging around, and the Chaos Lord does need to get shot. Are you guys going to fire, or what's this about? Look at how long these assholes are just standing, posing. There we go. Decent volley from them. Army losses for Nurgle. Hey, it's Grace. Hi, Grace. That's my lovely wife. Saving another replay, then I'm gonna check the values for once. Drycha did fine. Dryads did okay. Eternal Guard did okay. I expect the Archers will see a lot of value. Yeah. Almost all of them paid for themselves, which is really good. Nurgle in general struggles against Archers. They're too slow. They're too slow and too specific. Too loud, Cynthia. Too loud and too specific. No, even though Nurgle has heavy armor and they have shields, it's not like they're mitigating all of the damage coming in. And still, just enough damage is enough damage. That's a lot of archers. Grace, I thought you were playing a new management game. Why are you hanging around slumming with us? Lucky Spotify versus Billy Mays. Khorne and the Empire. Two very strong factions. No Wood Elves, for once. Trogdor, you came just in time for Wood Elf victory? Dude, there was 3 Wood Elf games and all of them are Wood Elf victories. Don't tell him. Just let him believe. Alright, we have 2 Blood Beasts of Khorne, 2 Skull Crushers, a whole front line of Chaos Warriors, Valkia the Bloody up there being angry with her Spear Slaanesh and the Demon Shield, and then we have Chaos Furies of Khorne. I promised myself I wasn't going to say of Khorne, then I did it, because I'm trash. Aside for the Empire, we have Outriders with Grenade Launchers, Democrat Knights with Halberds, ROR, some great swords, a Hellblaster Volley Gun, Nuln Ironsides, Karl Franz, and a Jade Wizard up in the sky with Earthblood and Regrowth. A couple Spearmen here and there. Hellblaster Volley Gun sucks, Nuln Ironsides suck, fight me. I appreciate that he's taking them. Nice grenade volley onto the Skull Crushers, then good job. Gonna kite back, kite away. We might need the Royal Altdorf Gryphites to make an appearance because those Skull Crushers are catching up. Outriders! No, you need Royal Altdorf Gryphites! Okay, they barely escaped to safety, but I'm still very concerned that they are out there. Out and about. Hellblaster Volley Guns trying to shoot Valkia. She is a teeny tiny target, and they are inaccurate, terrible artillery pieces. My God, they're missing. I'm shocked. Shocked and flabbergasted as the Royal Dwarf Group Fights take a charge. They need to stop these Blood Beasts and the Skull Crushers. I don't know if they can win a 2v1, but there are Chaos Furies of Khorne making sure that they don't get any Outrider support at all. Meanwhile, Furies group up around Call of Franz and the Jade Wizard. They get okay damage value onto the Jade Wizard, but they will get peeled away by Franz. The Null Ironsides are in here, and the Blood Beasts of Khorne are ripping them apart because the Null Ironsides are bad. Oh, shit. Unit I don't like dies, and therefore I have to revel in it. I can't just let people do things that they want. I have to be a shitter about it. Yep, turns out I'm a shitty person. Fuck you, you're dying, no Ironsides. Hellblaster Volley Gun is also getting shut down. The Royal Dwarf Group Fights get a regrowth to barely keep them in the fight, but barely is doing a lot of work in that sentence as the regrowth fades away, and they're still in a bad situation. Franz is going to try and snipe out Valkia as best he can. Meanwhile, the Outriders grenade launchers are getting killed by Chaos Furies of Khorne. Chaos Furies of Khorne in melee can kill both of those guys at the same time. Empire's up on the balance of power. That is fraudulent. Do not believe the balance of power. It is a liar, because as I said that sentence, the game went, never mind, Khorne's ahead. Which is why we don't believe the balance of power, kids. We believe our eyes. Our eyes, our ears, and our stomachs full of beers. Ha-ha! Alcohol. Okay, what are we doing? Chaos Warriors of Khorne are busting through the front line. Great Swords will try and hold them back, but that's a tall task. Chaos Warriors of Khorne are slow, but man, if they get into melee, they'll beat almost anybody else out there. They don't fuck around. High stats, frenzy. Yeah. Great Swords have armor piercing, but they just don't have the same stats as the Chaos Warriors of Khorne, so it's gonna be rough. The Wild Null Ironside, love this build. Golden Floof, where were you when Gondor called for aid? I need a training. Scaven versus Vampire counts. I'm playing in the faction war tomorrow versus Salinator, and I called for your help, and you were not there. Franz is still trying to hunt down Valkia. Bounce power is pretty even. I can't figure out why, but it is pretty even. Chaos Warriors are still trying to get through these spears. Skull Crushers and Blood Beasts are getting kind of low. There's one healthy Skull Crusher over there. I guess it's relying on Franz. Franz is like full HP. Walking alongside Valkia, escorting her through the battlefield, making sure that she sees all of her men fighting. He's very diplomatic, Karl Franz. He is the utmost politician of the Empire, so he can't just like let an unescorted lady general go through the battlefield alone. That would be unchivalrous. You're around for training now? Is this not a good time? Yeah, dude. Whatever. Stand your ground out from Franz. Helps keep the Spearmen in the fight. Actually, without that, they would have routed, but I don't know if it's going to turn things around. Still, that bounce power is frustratingly persistent as Skull Crushers and Furies make sure there's no Outriders coming back. The Royal Dwarf Group Fights hop in. I guess they're providing terror, but so is Franz, so it's a little redundant. Gal Maraz is out as he tries to fight his way through Blood Beasts. Still a lot of Chaos Warriors of Khorne. Spear Slop near down some Spearmen, just as a fuck you from Valkia. But I think once those Outriders go off the battlefield, the bounce power will get worse. Yeah, one Shadow the other one went off, and now it's a little more decisive. It's Franz just chilling. In a, like, pile of bodies, by the way. This is not a clean battlefield. Good lord. How are you people even fighting past all the bodies of the Slaughter Brutes? Or the Blood Beasts, I always do that. They're not Slaughter Brutes. Valkia takes another fight with Franz. His buffs are wearing off. Galmaraz is gone. Now he's down just to Reichland, Runefang, and Foe Seeker. And Franz could maybe clear out this stuff around him. Maybe. Possibly. But the fact that there's a full health Chaos Fury and a full health Skull Crusher in the distance makes me think that this is a doomed effort. He's putting all his eggs on the Snipe Out Valkia basket. That would cause these Blood Beasts to rout. Maybe you get rid of some Chaos Warriors. Valkia is sturdy. His anti-large also means nothing versus her when Galmaraz is popped, so he doesn't get any real bonus there, just the extra damage. And a Horn of Khorne, plus her stabbing, plus Blood Beasts, means even Franz can't take it. War Wagons ROR is only acceptable all again. If I told you my Scaven build had 4 Hell Pit Abominations, would you believe me? More seriously, Lucky Spotify played that pretty darn well. good allocation of his resources. The Blood Beast just breaking through the front line and stopping the ranged units from firing, while Skull Crushers spent most of their time chasing around Cav. It was pretty good. Chaos Furies flanking the Outriders' grenade launchers after a decisive Cav engagement was also very good. So he just had a lot of good fundamentals and a pretty solid build. I don't really have a lot to criticize from Spotify. So that's kind of why I didn't talk about the game as much, and I was fucking around and talking to chat a little bit. Is it was pretty straightforward and pretty clean, but it also wasn't like flashy, and there wasn't a ton of like, oh shit moments. It was the Chaos Warriors are in the right position. The Blood Beasts are targeting the right units. The Skull Crushers are distracting while the Chaos Furies get the Outriders. So it was very textbook. It was nice. For Billy Mays, I honestly think his play was pretty good. His kite with his Outriders was overall quite solid. Then they just got run down by Chaos Furies. His targeting with his Demigryph Knights was good. They just were outnumbered 3-1 in that situation. Franz got some decent duels. I think that was all fine. I think his problem was his build. I think he played well with a, well, I don't want to be a dick, but a bad build. It was too thin. And we see that a lot. So I'm just gonna make a more general point about this, because sometimes people like when I go on my actual gameplay advice rants. Wonderful idea. Practice Scaven Tourney in front of the stream. No shot. They'll counterbuild it. Yeah, dude. So we're not gonna watch the whole game again. I just want to point out a thing about these builds, because we saw it earlier with the Wood Elves too. Generally, I have a rule of 3-1. If you have ranged units, you need 3 melee units to defend them. Generally. This rule can be ignored, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So you have 4 ranged units. We should have 12 melee units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? He has 7 melee units. If you want to be generous, he has Franz, 8 to defend 4. That's 2-1. It's not 3-1. What happens when you don't obey the 3-1 rule? And again, you can ignore it, but for new player, generic information, follow the 3-1 rule. The problem is these guys have nowhere to go. You don't dominate enough space. You don't have enough battlefield control for kite to work. And a lot of people think that kite is just speed. Kite isn't just speed. You need to have places to relocate to and people to block for you or to lead your opponent into bad engagements. And the problem is when you have this teeny tiny box, if your Outriders run into the box, this is all the control you have. And I'll even debate that this is the control you have. But your Outriders are stuck here. Well, if this is all the space you can control on the whole battlefield, it's the only place you can keep these guys safe, then why are you spending money on a cavalry unit? You know what I mean? Because you're paying for speed. But if this is the area of the map they can sit in, you don't need speed. You could have a handgunner sitting there. Okay? So if you want a kite or something, you need to have, if not flank control, mobility control, domination of the fast units, you need to at least be contending there, and one Demigryph Knight isn't contending. So the Outriders have a problem. But even if, let's say these Outriders were just like Huntsmen, and they're right here, the problem still remains that he can't do a static formation because he doesn't have enough melee units. So you can't make a box. And as much as people hate boxes, there's a reason they're there. If you have no mobility presence, you just make a circle of melee units, and they have to get through your melee units to get to your ranged units. Got it? He doesn't have enough melee units to do that. So you can always come in here, come in here. If this guy rotates to block here, you just go where he was. There's not enough people to cover the space. That's why you go with 3-1 rule. Now, what I was talking about with the Wood Elf builds is you can disobey the 3-1 rule if you do what the third Wood Elf build did, if you remember that. It was mostly just fucking archers. It was archers as far as the eye could see. But the point wasn't to protect the archers. It was to use the archers as bait. So you're trading a 650 gold unit, like, let's say that these are archers, right? If the enemy sends in the Blood Beast onto this archer, just bear with me, and the Skull Crushers onto this archer, those 650 archers are going to die. But what happens to the 1,100 gold Blood Beast? What happens to the 1,700 gold Skull Crushers? Well, if the Royal Electric Gryphites rear charge them and kill them, you just trade a 650 gold archer unit for a Skull Crusher. You just traded a 1,100 gold Blood Beast for a 650 gold archer. So that's value trading up. So if you want to do 12 ranged builds, you need to take cheap ranged that can defend other ranged units. But a Hell Blaster Volley Gun isn't cheap. Null Iron Sights aren't cheap. Outriders Grenade Launchers aren't cheap. So that's clearly not what's happening here. Anyway, if you ever wonder what I say about, like, you know, there's not enough to defend this, that's more specifically what we're talking about when you're building a build. So you can either grab enough cheap ranged that it doesn't matter if it dies. Or you can grab a couple ranged units and defend the shit out of them, and they'll carry the whole game for you. But if a build does neither, it kind of tends to fall apart. And obviously, I'm not trying to just pick on that one guy. We saw the first two Wood Elf builds of the night ran into issues. They couldn't defend their archers. So we're talking about more than just, that guy had a bad build, haha. It's like, no, it was a general thing I saw 3 times in a row, so I thought I'd actually bring it up. And his happened to be the last game we were talking about. But we'll move on. We'll move on. We won't discuss such things anymore. We'll get back to the hand-slapping action that everybody came here for. Don't talk to me about strategy in my strategy game, human boy. Just get back to the bright lights and pretty colors. Yeah, whatever. What up, Spotify? We just cast your game. Alright. Dark Elves are back, but not against High Elves this time. They're against the Warriors of Chaos. We have 2 Coldwood Knights, 4 Witch Elves, one of which is Sister Singing Doom, 2 Dread Spears, more Coldwood Knights, and then 2 Dark Rider Pure Crossbows in the Vanguard, and Malekith on his dragon with Soul Stealer. On the other side, we have Valkia the Bloody, double Cockatrice with their slow, petrifying gaze net that they can use once, 2 Marauder Horsemen with Aecold Hellbrass, a Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle with just Stream of Corruption and Miasma of Pestilence, and a front line of Chaos Warriors, Aspiring Champions, Marauders, and Forsaken. The Skirmish Cav are going to try and skirmish. Cockatrice jumping out onto the Witch Elves, trying to stop them from getting to the infantry. I like that quite a lot. Witch Elves will demolish your Forsaken. And now that you've gotten them to pop their Witch's Brew, the little Rampage, they'll do decent damage, but if he's just trying to bait them to attack the Cockatrice while you have barriers and then pull the Cockatrice away, that's fine. If he's actually just going to sit here, that's not as fine. Cockatrice don't have the best crowd clearing. You can see 2 of them are doing this little damage to the Witch Elves. So these guys do have to fuck off. It looks like they're going to, so they just got those Witch Elves to pop their Witch's Brew for pretty much nothing. That's a good trade. Good job. Nice little bait. Sister Singing Doom getting murdered by Aecold and his Aspiring Champions. I wasn't fully here to see what happened. I'm guessing a Spear of Sleipnir had something to do with it, because Aecold don't do that much damage. Elsewhere, where the Witch Elves were not mitigated by Cockatrices or the Spear of Sleipnir, we can see they've already shattered a Marauder, so that's a stark difference. These other ones, now without Witch's Brew, Witch Elves are pretty whatever as melee combatants. You usually just take them for that one big burst of damage right away in the game, and then that's it, so... Actually, pretty good player on the Witch Elves. Ooh, speaking of good play, very nice Breath Attack from Malekith. Takes half health off of Forsaken, now Cockatrice is trying to hit him. Is it using it slow, or is he just kind of derping around? Looks like he's just kind of derping around, as these 2 Cockatrices are now teaming up on him. Valkia might be going in for a rear charge soon, but he's just going to land in Coldwood Knights. He's like, listen, if you want to duel, that's fine. I will duel you in an arena made out of armor-piercing large knights. Come fight me! Gets a Soul Steal off. He's actually just going to take back off. Looks like he doesn't have an interest in actually taking the fight with the Coldwood Knights. I think he probably should have opted into that. We'll see. Now one Cockatrice catches him. The other one, no! Barely takes off. The Coldwood Knights were actually really trying to stop that. So once again, Malekith's in the bad spot of a 2v1. Have either of the Cockatrices used their Petrifying Gaze? No, they should probably do that to net him, but I suppose he is just landing in Coldwood Knights again, which is a bit of a problem. Whereas the Chaos frontline is maybe going to beat the Dark Elves? Maybe. Possibly. It's not going as one-sided as they would like, especially since the Warriors of Chaos have invested so much in their front line. It's like, all right, listen, you guys have more cavalry, we have more infantry. We thought we'd at least win the infantry game. As the Cockatrices and Valkia all dive onto Malekith. Completely surrounded by those armor-piercing knights is pretty bad. It's a pretty bad time. You can see one of them's already dead, the other one's below half HP. Generally, the Cockatrices are not thought of as good units. We're kind of getting to see a little bit of why. One of the Cockatrices is routing, another one's thinking about it. That leaves Valkia alone. Bounce power is heavily shifting in the Dark Elves' favor. For a bit there, it was Warriors of Chaos' favor, then we just saw it do 2 giant leaps over, and now it's in the Dark Elves' favor. Aecold and the Sorcerer of Nurgle will be hard to snipe out. There's still a decent amount of infantry, but the Cockatrice is taking that much damage. I mean, one is flat out shattered and now dead. Not great. Malekith's about to chomp the other one to death as it routes. The Dark Elves don't have the most infantry left, but you don't really need it. In a late game situation where it's just 2 foot-based single entities and then some Marauders and Aspiring Champions, you can't just cycle charge your way to victory. Or hell, they even have Skirmish Cav, they could just shoot their way out. Valkia sitting in a pile of Cold Knights. Looks like she's trying to fight her way to freedom. That will be difficult as they have crazy high mass. And Murderous Prowess is no longer active. It looks like it's already burned, so their stats aren't that crazy right now. Bonus versus large doesn't apply to Valkia, making them a little limp. Malekith has dove in on his dragon. Terror's off some Marauders, but he's mostly going for the Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle. Wants to stop that slow poke and the slow passive healing he gets every time he casts a spell for his whole army. Malekith tried to take that out. Didn't really go his way. Ended up just getting rid of Marauders. Still plenty of Aspiring Champions left. Valkia and her Cockatrice teaming up on the the Cold One Knights, and they should win that fight now. Cockatrice does cause terror, so if the Cold Knights take a little bit more damage, they will tear up. It looks like Cockatrice is actually going to rout first. Cold Knights still very oppressive. Anti-large, arm piercing, tearing it limb from limb. Aecold happens to be surrounded, throwing his cool spinning sword around. Aspiring Champion's trying to protect him, but there's an awful lot of things gunning for his head. And Malekith gets another charge onto the Sorcerer of Nurgle. Trying to take this guy out. He is not having the best RNG right now, and now he's even T-posing and just staring at the Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle before he gets Miasma Pestilence, ruining his melee attack, making it even harder to hit that little guy. But a nice Soul Stealer. Soul Stealer is no RNG. That just hits. That just hits and does damage. Malekith still rolling through the chumps. Nurgle Sorcerer doesn't stand much of a chance. Aecold and Valkia have a lot of HP. That's definitely holding the balance of power up by quite a bit. But we have a ton of repeater crossbow ammo, so if this game goes late, I mean, these guys can just armor-piercing shoot you until the crows come home. I was going to say crows and then cows, and it came out crows. Rat Boy, we want to see blood. Yes, yes. That's what you're getting as a freaking dragon lands on Aspiring Champions. If that's not enough blood for you, I don't know. Look at him. Look at him just bowling over these guys. Try and stand up. Just gonna get hit by a tail. That ain't right. That shouldn't be allowed. Nurgle Caster's about to die. No more healing for you. Warriors of Chaos. Aecold and Valkyrie are trying to get anything done, but I don't know what can be done. Terror out onto the Aspiring Champions. Some champions you're aspiring to be if you're terror out away from a dragon, dude. Valkyrie pops her Demon Shield as Sister Singing Doom show up. The Aspiring Champions are back. Dark Elves might want to take a little more time shooting. Do have a lot of ammo. Aecold's weird floating sword. His animations are cool. Wish he wasn't just another foot character, though. Malekith lands in yet again. And he is going to just cycle charge to victory at this point. Soul Stealer's out. We know Valkyria's shield's on cooldowns. That will fully tick. Aecold's been slowly healing. I have no idea where his heal cap is. For all I know, he's as fresh as the day he was born. Valkyria takes some shots. Soul Stealer 2. Cold Knights are back onto her, so they're just trying to kill her off. Dark Elves are very far on the balance of power, and at this point I will fast forward through the cycle charging spree. Nice breath attack and Cockatrice is back. She's routing. There we go. The Crows of Cain. Oh, so many replays. Where are all these replays coming from? That's kind of Aecold's problem. Similar to the Wood Elf problem we were talking about earlier, where if you have these expensive foot heroes, they just like don't have enough battlefield presence or damage output. Okay. I saved up all the replays. Malekith did alright. Witch Elves did fine. The disruption from Cartfish was pretty good. Stopped the Witch Elves from being as effective as they could be, but in the end, they still did alright. Golden Knights are good. Valkia and Aecold both got good value. The Marauders and Chaos Warriors did not, unfortunately. Aspiring Champions did alright. Cockatrices, pretty meh. And Dogs and Marauder Horsemen did okay. Empire versus Vampire counts. Thagaraki. I know I haven't seen Thrak the Twins. I don't know if we've seen Thagaraki or Grippin. So let's find out. Pistolier Kite too. Yikes. Yup. Some people are on their round 4 matchup already. Some people are still in their round 3. No one's left in round 2 though, so we're halfway done with the Swiss part of the tournament. Empire Vampire counts. A matchup that used to be very close, very contested, and lore friendly. Now it is... more Empire favored? More Empire favored. Royal Altdorf group fights in the trees. 4 Pistoliers out in the plains. Then we have some Empire Knights, some Spearmen, 1 Archer, the Silver Bullets, and Elspeth von Draken on her dragon with Spirit Leech, Fate of Buna, and then Death's Timekeeper. On the other side, we have Crypt Horrors in the trees that are going to go fight Demigryph Knights, Corpse Cart, and a Necromancer on his own Corpse Cart. Skeleton Spearmen and Warriors across the front line. We do have a Mortis Engine as well, and a Blood Dragon. Ooh, that is the Red Duke, a very specific Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. He brought Invocation Heck and Wind of Death. Okay. Corpse Carts are in the trees, and they're trying to move up and get in there with the fight, but the Crypt Horrors are getting massacred by Royal Altdorf Gryphites right now, so those Corpse Carts are going to want to get to the infantry pretty quickly. Otherwise, they will be left all alone and die to heavy cav in the woods. Red Duke's trying to stay in melee with Elspeth. Elspeth is not a very good melee combatant, and she is crazy expensive. She wants to stay away from you and use her various spells and breath attacks to snipe you out, which is kind of happening. Spirit Leech and Death's Timekeeper, plus getting shot by the Silver Bullets, plus getting shot by the Pistoliers. It is a terrible time to be this poor Red Duke, as he is already almost dead. Use Invocation Heck and tries to get to safety. Do you use the laser breath attack on him? That's the laser breath attack. Oh, it actually largely missed. That's pretty rare, as the Red Duke is juking back and forth trying to stay safe. Elspeth is on his ass. Fellbats landing in the back line, kind of forming a big old clump, oddly enough, but they do stop the archers. They stop some Pistoliers, I suppose. Invocation Heck from the Necromancer. Oh, you have double Invocation Heck. Okay. In tournaments, double of the same spell aren't usually allowed. Just a heads up. In our new player tournaments, we're pretty chill. When we see a rule break or something like that, we just mention it and move on. We don't really make a big stink, but just a heads up. If you're playing in a more serious event, you might get in some trouble for that one. Red Duke's still trying to stay alive. In the forest, the Royal Altdorf Gryphites have almost cleaned up their second Crypt Horror. Meanwhile, the Empire Knights isolate the Corpse Cart. Necromancer gets to safety, though. And still the Fellbats are stopping the Pistoliers. Spook, spook. I feel like the Red Duke saw that going better in his mind. Oh, of course he did. Honestly, I'm surprised it took that much damage. I'm guessing the Silver Bullets had a hand in it, and I just didn't see that happening. Because 2 Pistoliers and Elspeth do not deal that kind of damage. No, it's not the Silver Bullets. So something went terribly bad for the Red Duke. How much armor does he have? Okay, where is he? 70 armor, no shield. 25% missile resistance? I still feel like the Pistoliers shouldn't do that much damage to you. He's still running from Elspeth. More Spirit Leeches for him, so I guess he's just going to lead her on a merry chase. Silver Bullet's still up and shooting at these Fellbats. Pistoliers are largely okay, also running away and shooting at the Fellbats. Unless some Skeleton Warriors try and churn through the Spearmen. Mortis Engine hasn't been able to mortis any engines, and the Empire's front line is holding for now. It's actually outlasting the Skeletons. The fuck happened to the Red Duke? I also don't know. I had assumed the Silver Bullets had done a lot, but then they've done almost nothing. Empire Knights are going to rear charge Skeleton Warriors. Decent damage on the charge. Just keep them honest. Pistoliers come back into the fold. Still have the Silver Bullets nearly full health. Kiting away. And the Royal Outdrift Grid Fights are going to go with the Mortis Engine while the Carmine Dragon takes out the Red Duke. I'm going to hold my screen like this so you can see the two important units, but pretty sure the Demigryphs will kill the Mortis Engine quite quickly. And then without the Mortis Engine or the Red Duke, it's going to be a bad time. Carmine Dragon, do you still have 2 breath attacks? No, you only have 1 left, so you must have already used one on the Red Duke too. There goes the Mortis Engine. Mortis all you like, engine. You cannot stop the Royal Altdorf Grid Fights from killing you. Frontline for the Vampire Counts is holding for now, but not doing amazing. Corpse Cart in the Woods is taking a long time to die versus Empire Knights. Non-anti-large, non-armor-piercing Empire Knights. Mortis Engine, not sharing the same fate. It died real fast. Royal Drift Grid Fight's already with 2,800 value. Silver Bullets keeping the Red Duke in the trees. 2,000 HP for him. As Elspeth is coming over. Probably got another Spirit Leecher 7 for him. Red Duke, more like Dead Duke. Got him. Necromancer's now the target of the Silver Bullets and the firing squad. Quite literally, it's gonna die. A Wind of Death comes out, but a little too late. Balance of Power shifts into Armilos' territory. And the beautiful Wind of Death can't save the vampires. Devil sending me replays. West sending me replays. Devil with 3,200 value on Elspeth. Imagine having a better Dragon Lord than the Red Duke, and you're not even vampires. That's messed up. That's messed up. I've not forgotten, nor will I ever forget, how much I hate Elspeth. Okay. How are we doing on the Total Tavern page? Some people still in round 3. Some people still in round 4. Okay. I guess we're not in a hurry. I guess. So let's take a look here. Thagaraki versus Gripen. I think I've maybe cast Gripen. I don't know if I've cast Thagaraki. So we'll cast that game because it has someone who I don't know if I've cast. I haven't cast any Yashkov yet. I haven't cast any Falling Star or Potato. There's Potato and Yashkov. We haven't cast any Corvus Glaive. Oh, I thought he took a caster, which is illegal. It's not actually illegal, but Corvus Glaive, like, never takes a fucking caster. There's Brothers Grimm. I think we just saw them versus Lucky Spotify. Billy Mays and Johnny Cash. Potato and Stidler. Okay. So we still have a couple names I don't recognize here and there. Let's get this one going. Thagaraki versus Gripen. Gripen? Gripen. This one felt a little rough on both sides. Legion of killers. Only 2 units that really deal damage to the VC army. Hard to be VC right now. Yeah. Elspeth is balanced. She's super expensive. She's still a little on the strong side, but she's not like crazy, ridiculous OP anymore. She's just kind of like annoying. I think the thing is that she just doesn't feel very fun for the enemy, where it's like, I don't know, her laser breath attack can do so much fucking damage, it's insane, and sometimes you just get your lord instantly deleted. But I don't think she's a healthy character. She's either too expensive and bad, or she's really annoying and frustrating to deal with. But we have a game in front of us. Enough of my whinging. 2 Chaos Fairies of Khorne, Valkia, Karanak, frontline of Marauders with dual weapons, 1 of the Skull Reapers, and then we have Minotaurs and Blood Beasts. On the other side for the Tomb Kings, we have 2 Carrion, some Skeleton Warriors in the front line, Ushabti Great Bows, looks like 1 regular, 1 Chosen of the Gods. Sparkle Stalker, Melee Ushabti, Screaming Skull Catapult, a Lich Priest of Death with the Purple Sun, Spirit Leech, and then Aspect of the Dread Knight. And then we have Khalida on her Sneaky Snake. And she brought the missile buff. buff, which I hate because it's very hard to use with her because she's a melee character and she buffs missile units. So is she staying in the back or is she charging? What are we doing? Now, Valkia did try and land to stop the Ushabti. That does get her into a duel with Khalida. Demon Shield to keep her safe for just a little bit, but Khalida's still here. Still going to push you away as the Marauders are already retreating because Marauders of Khorne strangely suck. Minotaurs of Khorne get onto the Sepulchral Stalkers, going to do a lot of damage to those guys. Sepulchral Stalkers have hybrid melee stats. It's not going to compare to the full rage and ire that is a Minotaur. Valkyrie gets back in the sky quite injured, but the Chaos Furies have arrived. They should take out the Scream Skull Catapult. Looks like they're going to also harass the Chosen Gods. Not quite kill them, but harass them. And as long as Karanak is around, there will be no more death magic to speak of. Even uses his Flesh Hound Summon to get extra damage out. The Skull Reapers are here. The Skull Reapers are ready to kill infinite amounts of skeletons and then die horribly to Shopti anyway. As Karanak chases Little Witch Priest around. And I know everybody hates Karanak, but also I have the hardest time getting Karanak to kill anything because if it's on foot, he just knocks it around for like 60 years. So there's my feelings on that. Tomb King's committing a lot of resources to this area. Gonna take out the Minotaurs of Khorne. Gonna kill off some Marauders too. While Khorne wins over here. Fleshhound Summon, Valkia, and the Chaos Fury going to finish off these very expensive weapons teams. Both the Ushabti actually going to be taken out. So both sides trading. I think Khorne is probably getting the better of it. Losing the Ushabti is quite brutal. Skull Reapers are still living their best life and grinding through 2 Ushabti. Now these are both real Ushabti, meaning there is a summon somewhere in the cards. It could be popping up for the Tomb Kings at any moment. Minotaurs are gone. Sepulchral Stalkers hopefully will take this moment to get to safety and shoot. They still have 10 out of 16 models, which is over half their DPS alive, as long as they're not in melee. This other healthier Minotaur is still grinding through all these troops. And Valkia and the boys are just about done killing off the last of the Chosen the Gods when the Ushabti summon does come out. Maybe Valkia will see it. Maybe she'll get to safety. The Empire also pulled a few bad moves, most notably Pistolier stuck in melee with zombies. Gotcha. If we tell Warhammer 2 Manfred that, he will be outraged. Gotcha. Alright, Karanak is just chilling next to this Deathcaster, so he doesn't get to cast any spells. Karanak isn't actually that interested in diving into Khalida. I think that's smart. Just use his little debuff aura, the silence aura, to make sure that these guys don't do anything. Actually, it is a silenced aura, so Khalida can't use any abilities either, even if she had them. I guess she didn't take Venom Wave. Ushabti get to fight Valkia for a bit. They only have 33 seconds of life left. She should be fine. Meanwhile, Minotaurs and Karanak are cleaning up anybody that isn't a part of this last little stand the Tomb Kings are doing. Aspect of the Dread Knight is out. Karanak did leave, so the silence aura went with him. Maybe the Tomb Kings can clean up these last couple Furies. I don't think they can kill that last Minotaur. Karanak's going to be a little spooky. Yeah, you can kill the Furies. Might even get Valkia if she doesn't have Demon Shield up. FYI, if you care, Spirit Leech doesn't do more damage when it's overcast, it just increases the range. So if you're in range, just undercast it. Last of these little Khorne chaff guys did get pushed away. We still have these. We still have those. The Tomb Kings are a-crumbling. Losing some spears, losing one of the Ushabti. Mino's trying to come back in. Khalida's still very healthy. And the Deathcaster has a lot of Winds of Magic. If you can kill off Karanak somehow, you could Spirit Leech Valkia to death pretty easily. But Karanak's silence is going to make that increasingly difficult. What do you do against the Empire's VC nowadays? Lose. Lose badly. Hat for a cat, it's just not a good matchup for Vampire Counts right now. Vampire Counts are one of the weakest factions in the game at the moment, and the Empire is one of the strongest, and then they don't match up into each other well. The Empire has... Sorry, as you watch this fight, I'm going to answer that question. The Empire has armored chariot kite tools in the war wagons, and you don't have armor-piercing cavalry. Blood Knights are not armor-piercing, so even if they catch the war wagons, they don't do the most damage. The Empire has better cavalry than you. You only have Blood Knights, and then Black Knights are kind of okay. Empire Knights are better than Black Knights, and Empire Knights are cheaper. Demigryph Knights are better than Blood Knights, and Demigryph Knights are the same price. So your cav is fucked. The Empire is better infantry than your infantry. Yes, crypt horrors are going to be better than the Empire infantry, but that's a heavy investment, and they have really good anti-large archers for only 650 gold, the huntsmen, and the huntsmen make mincemeat out of crypt horrors. So your front line loses to their range while their cheap front line holds. Your cavalry is outdated. The only advantage you have is your Dragon Lord, which we just saw how well that went versus the Empire's DLC pay-to-win Dragon Lord. And then even if they don't go with the DLC pay-to-win Dragon Lord, your Dragon and the Vargeists are, again, fresh fish for huntsmen and war wagons. They hate both. So the problem is that the Empire has overlapping tools and you don't have overlapping tools. Does that make sense? Like, yeah. I'll give you a visual in a second as I just go through these values quick. But I find it an interesting question, so I'm going to dive into it. Tonight is my night of diving into interesting questions. Okay, what was that one? This was this one, so I don't cast it again. Now let's go answer that question quickly. Empire. Vampire counts. Okay, so let's take all the threats you possibly have. Vargeists, Crypt Horrors, Blood Knights, any of your infantry. Well, any of your infantry can be answered quickly. They have the Nurgle problem. Vampire Count's infantry is tanky. It doesn't kill quickly. So Empire Spearmen, Spearmen with shields, 42 melee defense. You ain't getting through that ever with skeletons. Crypt Ghouls still aren't that good at getting through it. Karen Wraiths aren't that good at getting through it. Graveguard aren't that good at getting through it. So the Vampire Counts just lack the raw melee attack to get through the Empire front line quickly. So to get through the Empire front line, you need Crypt Horrors. Crypt Horrors, insanely weak to Huntsmen. So in your Empire build, you're going to want a couple Huntsmen. All right, Vargeists, pretty good at killing infantry, pretty good at killing cavalry. If you get a rear charge, that's good. Pretty weak too. Huntsmen. Oh, hey, I already have those because I'm already worried about Crypt Horrors. Okay, Blood Knights. Those aren't weak to Huntsmen. That's cool. They are pretty weak to Demigryph Knights and War Wagons. Okay, so I have War Wagons, Demigryph Knights to counter Blood Knights. I have Huntsmen to counter Vargeists and Crypt Horrors. War Wagons also do very well against Vargeists. So hey, I know my War Wagons aren't going to be wasted. Oh, Demigryph Knights are also pretty good against Crypt Horrors. That's great. Well, what if there's a big spooky Dragon Lord up in the sky? Okay, well, he's large. He doesn't have the most armor. He doesn't have a shield, so he's weak to Huntsmen. Oh, hey, War Wagons are 360 shooting chariots, so he's also weak to War Wagon. Hey, oh, wait, I already have those. I already have those in my build. So the problem is the Empire can take a couple units that cover a lot of ground, and the Vampire Counts have hyper-specific units that are only good versus a very specific couple things. Like, Crypt Horrors, they're good against the Empire front line. That's it. They're weak to the archers. Okay. Blood Knights are good against the archers. They're pretty bad against War Wagons and other cav. Vargeists are pretty good against cav. They're weak to the archers. They're weak to the War Wagons. It's just like, you just have a bad time. You're a hyper specific and very expensive roster that's just been completely power crept by DLC and updates. Are Empire Knights cool units? Yeah, Empire Knights are sick units. I love them. I would advocate more for Vampire Counts buffs than like making Empire units suck. It's just the Vampire Counts have been really hard power crept. VC versus Beastmen? Probably. Wasn't there one? Stytler and Corvus? Yeah, we can just get Stytler versus Corvus in a second. I was going to do this one because it was the next one in order. It has Yashkov on it, which we haven't cast any of. We'll do VC versus Beastmen probably after that. We'll get our first Kislev and our first Slaanesh of the night. Okay. I have DMs from people. Okay, Potato sent me a close one. This is good. So who is this from? This is from Siegfalt and Yashkov. Got it. And then Cartfish sent me some stuff. That's cool. Where's the tournament at? I'm going to throw that on slow motion. Alright. Some people are still in round 4. Manfred on foot, flying vampire hero with pendulum, ghouls, dogs, bats, and cryptors. I think the best hope you have against the Empire is just going mass speed. Like, really try and cheese them with, like, 2 or 3 Blood Knights, some Black Knights, dogs, Cairn Wraiths, and just hope for the best. It's probably the best you can do. Alright. Kislev brought a bunch of Ice Guard. 3 Ice Guard, all with glaives, then some Kossars with spears, Kossovite dervishes, the Wolfhearts, Auction ambushers, and a Kislevite warrior frontline with an Ice Witch of Tempest. Yep, and she has Hawks of Mishka. Hawks of Mishka is a very good spell if you think your opponent might have a demonic aspect. Decent damage, but it has low armor piercing, which demons don't tend to have a lot of armor. And then the Discouraged Aura also really hurts demons. On the other side, for the demons, we have Seekers and Heartseeker RORs. Herald of Slaanesh on a chariot with her Rampage and Lash. Then we have double Cultist. I think both have the Demonette summon. And then we have a bunch of Marauders, some Chaos Furies, and Hellstriders. Trying to get in the back line. Kislev has a lot of archers, though, and Seekers, only 5 armor, no shields. Very, very difficult for them to get through those archers, and they are going to die quite quickly. Kossovite Dervishes showing why Kislev used to be overpowered is the Unbreakable. They can just chuck themselves into the Eternal Entourage, and this 450 gold cav is holding back a 1500 gold cav for quite a long time because of how long it takes to get rid of their Unbreakable. Hellstriders getting peeled off by the Hawks of Mishka, and also just a metric shit ton of arrows and Kossovite Dervishes. The Ice Guard are decent halberd units, and looks like the Wolfhearts might need to net these guys. They already used one of their nets, so they're probably on cooldown as they try and get shots on the Eternal Entourage. Eternal Entourage do a ton of damage. They also take a ton of damage very, very quickly by getting shot. Already demonic instability might be coming for those guys, but charging saves them briefly. They will get rear charged by the Kossovite Dervishes. That should probably spell their end even when they're in melee combat, so demonic instability takes another one. And this final Seeker is also about to die to demonic instability. So just like that, Slaanesh's mobility is all gone in the blink of an eye. Devoted Marauder frontline barely even reached the Kislevite warriors before all of their cav died. And now this lady is trapped in melee with a bunch of Kossovite Dervishes. Glade Guard, Ice Guard are trying to get shots on her. When they do a lot of damage, but these ones are just going to walk into melee because they can't quite see her over the Dervishes, so they're confused and scared. And if that Herald dies, this game is over. I mean, it already looks pretty dire, losing all those expensive cav just like that. But she's going to demonic instability crumble. That might just be GG. Demonette summons coming out of the cultists to try and stay alive on the balance of power. And that will help. I mean, 2 Demonette summons will contribute a decent little bit to the balance of power. But all these archers are still firing. Wolfhearts are safe and sound. Ice Guard taking some damage. Demonette summons will make quick work of the poor Ice Guard. The Hawks of Mishka not doing nearly as much damage to the Devoted Marauders and the Chaos Warriors as it does to demonic units. It's still decent, and you got rid of most of the demonic units, so why bother? I don't think you necessarily have to cast a spell that expensive on Demonette summons, especially when you're this far ahead, you'll be fine. So now Kislev is just waiting out the Demonette summons, and then once that, we have 30 more seconds until Army Losses is going to hit automatically, because without those summons, there's no shot that this game is still going. So I think Kislev's just gotta survive 20 more seconds and they'll be fine. Cultists are chilling, Kislevite warriors, Devoted Marauders getting pushed off here and there. And there go those summons. And did I call it right? Is it Army Losses as soon as the summons are gone? Hey, surrendered. How's Slaanesh doing in general? In general, they're okay. They're a good counterpick faction. They're not great if you have to pick them first. Kislev was made too strong by the passive healing. Yeah, the passive healing aura was definitely crazy strong. Armored Kossars being strong was fine. A lot of it was they had some of the only effective chariots in the game with the heavy war sleds, and then those guys were honestly kind of overpowered. Then their whole roster was unbreakable. Then they got a DLC, and they had that passive healing, so it was a lot of things. Kislev took many nerfs. Probably too many nerfs, if you're being honest with yourself. Okay, B6, A6 just sent us a bunch of stuff. I'll save those. I'll save these. Do I wait for someone to free up? Nah, take the W. More replays to save. We gotta go check in on the whole bracket That sounds silly. Okay, people are still playing. We got time. We got time. Okay, let's delete that one we just casted. Somebody wanted VC versus beastmen. 1 second. I gotta make sure I have a Yashkov somewhere else. Oh yeah, we just watched Yashkov. Didn't we? No, we didn't. That was someone else. Falling Star. Do we have another Falling Star replay? No. But I heard this one was one-sided, and then Potato wanted this one cast instead. He said that one was better and more exciting. Do I have another Yashkov? Surely we have another Yashkov. My goodness. Alright, looks like we don't. I thought I cast one of his already, though. Was he just the vampire? Was he just the Slaanesh player? Yes, he was. Okay, cool. I heard this one was one-sided, is why I'm skipping it. Okay, somebody want a VC versus Beastman, so let's do it. Is Scarsnake still less effective than the Nightgoblin War Boss? Yes. Would you rather have stat or gold balance changes? Depends on the unit, but if you're asking me in general, gold. Kislev used to be OP, they're not OP anymore? No, they're not OP anymore. They're mid-tier. Okay. Vampire counts versus Beastmen. We have dire wolves, including the dire pack in the flank. We have zombies in the tithe, a bunch of skeleton warriors, a mortis engine, a necromancer, and then in the sky, the blood dragon vampire lord with gaze into gash, invocation hack, and then all of his melee buffs. And double blood knight. Common Corvus, no caster W. Corvus Glaive is well known for not taking casters. Magic is an accursed thing, and he does not participate in that system. Gore herds and ungore herds for the front line, 2 razor gore herds, Morgur the Shadow Gave for a lord, and then a massive vanguard Centaur flank. Centaurs with throwing axes, some Centaurs with great weapons, and a Wargore, which, now that chariots are good, I have been seeing more Wargores. In fact, for my World Cup event thing, Scaven versus Beastmen training, Wargores were doing a lot of work on my Scaven builds, so decent little chariot duelists with some decent buffs. Blood Knights and the Blood Dragon Lord, taking out some Razorgore herds and the Ungor Spearman herds. That should be a pretty easy catch for them. Those guys will tear out any second now, and the Blood Knights can easily escort them off the map. But the big Beastman flank cometh. Lots of flanking Centaurs going to pile into Skeleton Warriors, but in comes the flanking dogs. Unfortunately for the dogs, there's not really a whole lot for them to kill. They were looking for Ungor Raiders or any Beastman range units to run down. And instead, they just get a pure melee fight, which undead dogs have particularly low stat lines. Not high weapon strength, not high melee attack or melee defense. They do not like fighting anything that wants to fight back. At all. So Centaurs are going to crush these guys. Mortis Engine might be a bit concerning, because all the Beastmen have is melee. They don't have the Royal Altar of Griffites. So it might be hard to actually kill the Mortis Engine. Blood Dragon Lord and his double Blood Knights need to hop over here and deal with some of these Centaurs themselves, as throwing axes are throwing at something. Don't exactly know what. Ogre continues to fight against the Tithe. The Tithe look like they'll be the Chaos Spawn summon this game, as other zombies also take a rear charge from Centaurs. Gore Herd gets charged by the Blood Dragon Lord and rear charged by Dire Wolves, taking a lot of damage. And the Centaurs still in the back line, still cycle charging around, gonna kill off the Dire Pack, kill off those other zombies. These Beastman forces can rotate over. While the Wargore and some Gore Herds try and churn through as many undead as possible to get to that Mortis Engine. Bounce power favors the vampire counts, as the Beastmen are forced to kite back a little bit. Still have a lot of Centaurs, still have a lot of healthy Centaurs too. Blood Dragon Lord is going to dive it onto Morgur. Helm of Discord makes his melee stats quite pitiful. Blood Dragon Lord should have all the damage in the world. He's already got 762 with his buffs popped, and nobody is going to save Morgur yet. There's the Chaos Spawn summon. It looks like it was his voluntary one, because I didn't see any crumbling units nearby at the moment, but Morgar's already down to half HP. He's going to terror out. Oh, he's ITP. He'll naturally route, which is even worse, because then he can get tracked off the map. Centaurs dive in to save him. Now, Centaurs, if they fully surround a single entity, get a ton of damage. There's Morgar's second Chaos Spawn summon, the unintentional one. Just kind of happens when something is nearby. Blood Dragon Lord is currently getting shot with some throwing axes, and Centaurs are great weapons surround him, but a zombie summon between his feet keeps him largely safe from those guys, and Morgar's just trying to get away and heal up a little bit. Wargore dueling with the Mortis engine. That starts the path over here. Centaurs clean up the last of those guys. Blood Knights have been largely inactive since getting that snipe onto the Ungor Spearman herds. They do have to get into this fight some more. Looks like they'll charge some Razorgore herds. They should win that easily enough, but they need to be over here pushing away the Centaurs with throwing axes, making sure the Centaurs with throwing axes can't do this to the Blood Dragon Lord, and then do the same thing to the Mortis engine. So that's very concerning. Blood Knight's got to be on the move. Vampire counts quite ahead of the balance power. Should be fine overall. Invocation hack, Overcast trying to save the Blood Dragon Lord, but he's taking so much damage, and the Overcast damage hurt him, and there's a Wargore on his ass now. Another zombie summon to try and get to safety, as the Mortis engine is draining down a ton of units. Chaos Spawn summon only has 21 seconds left, but it is going to hold the Blood Dragon Lord in place. They do get a couple good shots in on him. Any damage is good damage while he's already crumbling. He cannot cast another Invocation hack for as long as he is crumbling. Basic Centaurs take a charge with the Blood Knights, trying to hold those guys back. Blood Knights will easily beat them, but it is all a matter of time. They're just trying to give the throwing axes one or two more volleys that could seal the Blood Dragon Lord's fate. But he gets back up into the sky, and he is gonna be okay. He can heal up there. Never mind, he's crumbling again. He's got to come back. Because if he sits above the Necromancer and the Corpse Guard, he'll get a ton of healing. They have two different healing auras. So he's got to come back and deal with that. Morgar's pretty low, still trying to regenerate. Wargore is getting low. He has no form of healing. And Blood Knights overstaying their welcome, having to fight Centaurs and Centaurs with great weapons. Centaurs with great weapons doing really good damage here, I imagine. Getting close to 700. Wait, are basic Centaurs beating these Blood Knights' ass? Stop showing me the Blood Knights. No one gives a fuck about the Blood Knights. Yeah, basic Centaurs were just beating those Blood Knights' ass. Blood Knights, you have been power crept pretty hard. Basic Centaurs charge Blood Knights again. Gonna get a couple hundred value. The Blood Dragon Lord helping out should be nice. Can tear out these guys. Helm of Discord lowers their stats considerably, so they shouldn't be able to get through the Blood Knights anymore. Meanwhile, the Mortis engine is draining down all these Centaurs. And the Centaurs have used all their throwing axes trying to kill the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord. Don't know if they can even kill the Mortis engine at this point, because it is just gonna slurp its way to victory. One Blood Knight died horribly. The other one proved rather victorious, pushing away all the Centaurs. Beastman Bounce Power goes into Army Losses territory as the Wargore terror routes. More Centaurs route. And that's going to probably cascade into Army Losses. Kind of surprised Morgar's still hanging around. Quick breath attack for the Blood Dragon Lord on the fleeing Centaurs. Doesn't do much damage. It was just kind of around. What on earth do you think is going to happen here, Balance of Power? How have you not army lost this yet? As dogs are moving in to countercharge the Centaurs again. Centaurs try and rally some leadership, come back in. They're just going to immediately terror out, coming in contact with the Mortis engine and its draining effects. So that should call it a day. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, vampire counts W. Do I DM the tourney replay straight to Human Boy? That is true. Yes, do it. Send me things. Yes, hello. Spy Rat has sent me things. Fireball Phoenix sent me another thing. I don't want it. You can have it. You can keep it. We done with the last round? No. There's still Cartfish. There's Cartfish. And that is all I know. Cartfish and Picker Pizza King is the last game here. Well, let's take a look-see at how the bracket's shaken out. Does it even matter? How did Fireball Phoenix get 5 points? That's odd. That right there, that ain't right. Okay, Cartfish and Pucker Pizza. No, neither of them is in contention for winning the whole thing. So we can get our finals started. Fireball Phoenix needs to fight Devil. All right, so we will have a finals. We will have a finals winner. Okay, sorry, had to get that going. Soon there will be no tournament admin, and I won't have to ever look away from the replays. Ever. Mortis Ender got 2,800 value. That's quite nice. Goreherds did okay. Centaurs did pretty darn well for Corvus. Razor Herds got mostly chunked out. But we cast that. Boom. Here's Potato and Falling Star. I don't know if I got any other Falling Star replays in the end. Oh, 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 there's some. There's some. Cool. Because I heard this one wasn't the best. So I'm going to skip this one since I know both these players are elsewhere. Tomb Kings versus Rats. Okay, we can do Tomb Kings versus Rats. Lucky Spotify and Brothers Grimm. I don't know if I've cast any Brothers Grimm yet. This one looks silly. This one looks silly too. Sure. Okay, Phoenix King. Sorry, buddy. Good night, friendo.
It will be done.
Okay. For the Empire, we have Knights of Black Rose, Royal Altar of Griffites, Empire Knights, Demigryph Knights with halberds. Then we have Huntsmen, Sterling's Revenge, more Huntsmen, Spearmen with shields, and Swordsmen. We have Boris Todbringer and a Bright Wizard with Burning Head. Boris Todbringer running around, going to cause some disruption, while the Grand Hierophant Kotep on the other side has 3 spells, Assyrian's Incantation of Vengeance among them. We have the Sphinx of Usef, a whole bunch of skeletons, including King to Catch the Scorpion Legion, Chosen of the Gods, Eyes of the Desert, some Carrion, and some melee Ushabti. Pretty divided little build. 1 second. I have to send a message that's very important, so 1 second. 1 second. Two picks and builds. Okay. We'll be casting the finals live after this replay. I'm gonna have the players get in the lobby and do their picks and bans and stuff before I show up. So that way we can just hop in and get into the action. Knights of the Black Rose are leading the Sphinx Usef on a little bit of a chase. Tomb Kings should be able to get through the front line of the Empire quite easily. They brought a lot better troops, as Boris is just harassing the Grand Hierophant Kotep, forcing him back, but Sporkle Stalkers will force Boris back, and it's a bit of a wash. What is not a wash is Demigryph Knights having a straight line shot onto the Chosen of the Gods. Those guys are going to die. Those guys are going to die real good. To get another message and get distracted by tournament things. But I didn't miss the Demigryph Knights charge, and that's all I care about in life. Demigryphs, Demigryphs. They got slowed by Assyrians, and I have to wait even longer for my Demigryphs. Okay, fine. Elsewhere, Kepler Guard plus all these skeletons are getting through the front line quite easily. Already the Sterling's Revenge are forced to run away, and some Empire Knights are forced to help out. Sporkle Stalkers plus 2 Syrians Incantation of Vengeance taking half HP off the Demigryph Knights with halberds, who do eventually get in here with Boris's help to finally get a target. and hit these sepulchral stalkers, so that'll be quite good for them as Carrion also dive in. Chosen of the Gods get to safety, but never mind, the Royal Dwarf Gryphites slip through the front line and get onto them anyway. So we got our Demigryph charge. It was just a different Demigryph than we thought. It was a little delayed. As you can see, though, this is what I was waiting for, because the Demigryphs, once they get onto these Tomb King's versions of weapons teams, do an insanely high amount of damage. So those guys are both going to be killed quite quickly. Sphinx Usef charges through. The Empire Knights will skewer them on his big old claws. But the Kepler Guard will be a problem. While the Tomb King's backline is completely helpless to the Demigryph Knights, the Empire backline isn't having a great go of it either. Very nice Burning Head down. King Cast Scorpion Legion does a lot of damage to them. It'll also do good damage to the Kepler Guard, who are already weak to fire with their regeneration. And it goes through another Skeleton Spearman. Beautiful cast, hits 3 units. Tons of damage. You'll love to see it. But what I was saying is the Tomb Kings are quickly harassing the Empire's backline, so both sides going to lose their backlines, and it'll really come down to if the Sphinx of Usef can deal with Demigryph Knights or not. It should be able to if it has infantry support, and the Tomb Kings did bring more infantry and better infantry. In a late game situation, theoretically, it should be the Sphinx on a bunch of his own infantry versus Boris and the Demigryphs, which theoretically he can win. Yeah, hey, Spotify. We'll get to that game. I heard it was pretty good. We'll get there. We gotta do finals and all this other stuff, and people are messaging me about things, and it's stressful and scary. Sphinx Usef is running around. He wants to make sure not to take a fight with the Demigryph Knights away from his spears, because the only way he wins that fight is if he's on top of his own spear support. If he takes it right now, like, honestly, the Royal Dwarf should just turn and beat his ass. That would be a terrible, terrible time to beat the Sphinx Usef. Kotev's running away from Boris. Boris taking little pokes at him. And the Tomb Kings have some healing, but not like a ton. Yeah, the Realm of Souls final is out. So this is all the healing Kotev's going to get from that front. Whenever he casts a spell, he gets a little bit of healing, but not a lot. The Royal Dwarf Gryphites did run too far away, unfortunately, and now they're very out of position, while the other Demigryph Knights with halberds get killed by the Sphinx Usef. And this is where I start to get really scared. Late game, if you just have the Royal Dwarf Gryphites and Boris with no healing, I mean, the Sphinx on spear support can actually kill both those units quite easily. Demigryph Knights thought about coming in. Now they're going to back off again. Kotep's still alive. Ushapti Summon is temporary, but it's here for now, and the Kepler Guard are tanking up an Empire Knight charge. Concerning for the Tomb Kings is the Free Company Militia got to safety. They'll be able to provide constant armor-piercing shots, especially into the Sphinx Usef if they ever get into a fight near him. But the Bright Wizard might get sniped out. Runs face first into an obstacle. He can't get to safety as Kotep blocks him in. And the Knife Cat, for some reason, takes the worst angle of attack I've ever seen. But it was all a bait. The Bright Wizard was pretending to get caught. As he does get murdered, that's true. But we also have Demigryph Knights getting to fight the Sphinx Usef and Kotep without any spear support nearby. Jeff's Incantation Curse Blades gives a little bit more damage. Incantation of Protection protects Kotep, and Kotep's going to run for the hills as Skeleton Spears do waddle uphill to get into this fight. Demigryph Knights have to make what they can of it, and they are getting a lot of damage out of the Sphinx, but it looks like it's not going to last forever as they do opt to run away since the Spears have arrived. Now Boris might have to face the Sphinx on his own. Realizes his Demigryph Knights left, tries to get to safety. Takes a little poke on the butt, but he'll be okay. He has self-healing. He's fine. Huntsman shooting up and over the top into the Sphinx. Empire's getting further and further ahead. As now the Kepler Guard are getting cycle charged by Empire Knights, getting shot by Stone's Revenge. Empire's infantry just kind of straggling in from all sides of the map. Wounded men of the Empire. Big stabby cat. Jumps its way through some spearmen, does a little bit more damage there. Huntsman still firing in, constant little pokes. And the Kepler Guard, charged by Boris, debuffed by his various issues, like Blood Roar. Now they're crumbling. They might be able to finish off all these spearmen and whatnot, but with the Stone's Revenge and Boris there, they're going to have a pretty bad time. Kotep and the Sphinx relying on one last spearman for any support. The Royal Dwarf Gryphite's going to surround the poor Sphinx. It did get Japs Incantation Curse Blades for more damage. That doesn't really help it stay alive, though. And it's going to lose hundreds and hundreds of HP, if not thousands. There we go. There's about 1,000. It was taking the Demigryph Knights a little while to actually start swinging, but now that they're swinging, the Sphinx is dying super fast. Kotep is going to die to one Boris charge. Sphinx is going to die to another couple seconds of fighting with Demigryphs. It looks like army losses just takes care of them all. Bap! Boris charge. He's dead. We're ready when you are, human boy, I'm gonna go get a snack. Not allowed. And then Fireball Phoenix is messaging me about stuff. Cool. For the Empire, Boris did fine. Huntsman got really good value. Silver Bullets, Strone's Revenge also got good value. Depping Knights did fantastically. For Pasha, Sprockle Stalkers and the Big Sphinx did great. Everything else struggled quite a bit. Wandering around after the Imperials and their damn fast units. Is that fucking Queek? That's fucking Queek. Alright, what are we doing? What's going on? What's happening? Where's that damn replay? It was right here. There you go. Alright, we gotta go cast finals, then we'll cast whatever replays look interesting after that point. Multiplayer. Hello, Devil. 1, 2, 3. Yes, your screen went black. I was loading in, I was gonna see the player's build, so I turned it off. You're back. We're here with the finals. Looks like it's High Elves versus Wood Elves. Now, what do angry, mean German men as mummy kangs? What? Are you trying to say what does the Empire do against the Tomb Kings? GG Stitler. It's always a pleasure to see you, my friend. Oh, what do you do against the Empire as Tomb Kings? That's a decent matchup. Yeah, that's a decent matchup. You have options. You can either go mobility spam. You grab a couple of those skeleton horse archers, Nakar horsemen, the 800 gold chariots, and then 2 cats, and you just run through their front line. Like, literally run through them. Don't try to kill them. Run through them with your chariots and cats. Send the cavalry on the sides, and then just shut down all their ranged. And when it becomes just melee infantry and cavalry, then kill the cavalry. And when it becomes just the melee infantry, you can cycle charge them to death with the cats. So that's one way to do it. The other way is to try and outshoot them. Take 2 Shop to Great Bows. The Chosen of the Gods is the 3rd who Shop to Great Bow. Or you can do the Chosen of the Gods and 2 Bone Giants. Actually, the Bone Giants is honestly probably better, because they're longer ranged and a little more reliable. Sorry. The other way is probably Chosen of the Gods, 2 Bone Giants is what I would do. With that build, you probably don't need Cetra. You can do Cetra, it's fine, but probably Kotep's better. Kotep or Arkan. Any of those 3 lords are good, though. Let's just say you go with Cetra. But he's so expensive. Yeah, fuck it. Arkan. Arkan with a summon, get like 5 skeleton warriors, 3 skelly spears for just a lot of skellies. And then you can get Sprockle Stalkers if you have the money to defend you from cav. But the Chosen of the Gods shoot at any cav. Bone Giants shoot at war wagons or enemy artillery. And if none of those are available, just shoot the enemy caster. And if the enemy caster's dead, shoot the Lord. Use Sprockle Stalkers and the Chosen of the Gods to kill all the cav. Your skeleton infantry will hold forever against the Empire's front lines. It'll be fine. You're not going to win it. Like, the front lines is just kind of a mutual whatever. Both your front lines suck. Who cares? Yeah, those are 2 ways you can play it versus the Empire. Both are good. Your humor remains unappreciated. Your humor is great. It just confused me, and I got flummoxed, startled, and alarmed. Wesley Bravo's here, hoping everybody loses. Okay. For the finals, this is the finals. After this, we'll just go cast some replays that look fun. / find anybody who I haven't cast any of their games yet. But yeah, this is the last one that actually, like, matters for the timeline of the tournament. And then I will be receiving no more replays. Nothing can distract me from the casting. For Sigvald, also known as Fireball, we have 5 War Dancers in the front line. Spellslinger of Life with Regrowth. We have a Glade Lord with Helm of Discord and the Flag. What the hell? This is the melee Glade Lord. This isn't the Privenoth Rainbow one. Banner of the Hunter King and Helm of Discord. So a lot of melee buffs. Great Stag Knights, Wild Hunters, Kronos, and Sisters of the Thorn. So this is a heavy elite build. Mid-tier infantry, high-tier cavalry, expensive lord, regrowth. Spook. Xanatos Dual Mons with 5 memberships. Thank you, sir. It's very much appreciated. Love you. Love you all. The ones who give me money I do love more than the rest of you. But the rest of you, you're in there. You're trying your best. Give me money. Anyway, for the High Elves, we have a front line of Rangers, 2 Lane Reavers, the Fireborn, and then a crap ton of Archers. 4 Archers regular, 3 more Archers with light armor. No, sorry. This is a weird formation, so I'm getting tripped up. 4 Archers regular, 2 Archers with light armor, 3 Lather and Sea Guard, and an Archmage of High Magic. Oh my god, that was harder than it needed to be. Tempest and Apotheosis for the 2 spells. Unfortunately, there is no flying here for the Wood Elves, so the Tempest is literally useless. You can't even click that spell if you wanted to, because it can only target a flying unit. So it's just Apotheosis Dragon up in the sky. These Archers will be very dangerous. This is a good too many Archers build. Like we talked about before, he doesn't have nearly enough melee to defend it, but the Archers can defend themselves, and they're all so cheap. Like, these Archers are, what, 450, 475 gold? So if a War Dancer gets to one and starts to kill it, if the other Archers pincushion the War Dancer, you just traded a 450 gold unit for a 750 gold unit. Fantastic value for the High Elves, so really like this build. Nice and cheap, no one really worth killing. Wild Rider is going to jump in on the Illyrian Reavers. They should win that quite handedly. Rangers also will get killed by War Dancers, especially with the Wild Hunters of Kronos helping out. And this is going to be so bad for the High Elves right here. The Fireborn getting Helm of Discorded, lowering their melee stats enough that the Great Stag Knights can get a good charge onto them. Plus the Wild Hunters of Kronos are in here too. Now the Archers are trying to help out, and that is really the crux of the whole High Elf build. I mean, just look at the Archers pouring fire down. The War Dancers are already almost all dead. Wild Riders are almost already dead. The Great Stag Knights aren't feeling too good, but the Fireborn, these Illyrian Reavers taking a ton of damage. The only thing is I hope the Wood Elves don't get baited into just trying to kill this High Mage. I feel like that'll be harder than they're giving it credit for. And all the while they're doing this, they're getting shot in the back. Like, just so many fucking arrows pouring in onto these guys. The poor Great Stag Knights taking a lot of damage. I think already a Regrowth was cast somewhere. Wild Hunters Kronos are pushed away. So are the Fireborn. There they go. They tear out a little later than I thought they would when I said they got pushed away. There's a Regrowth Overcast to try and save them. Still have 33 models to save. Now the Great Stag Knights and the Glade Lord are trying to get through. The Wood Elf front line has it completely broken for Sigvald. And yeah, I like the 12 Archer build when they're all nice and cheap. Sisters of Thorn try and charge in. They lose half their HP on the charge. They will make contact with the Archers with light armor. And was that a breath attack? I thought you were trying to breath attack. Looks like not. Looks like you're just going to charge the Great Stag Knights in the rear. Should terror out them as well. None of them are ITP. They all just have Frenzy, so it looks like they have ITP until they take damage. And they don't have ITP anymore. Archers hitting the Wild Hunters of Kronos. The Life Caster and the Glade Lord will be the last things for the Wood Elves, and they can't hold up everything. Some of the Archers are getting compromised, but it's just not enough. We still have 4 uninhibited Archers firing away as they please. The Wild Riders are trying. Also, Archers are High Elf Archers, so you still have, like, a lot of the Secret have 44 melee defense. Even if you get onto them, you're not going to get that much damage out that quickly. Illyrian Reavers rally. A lot of the Secret still hold. The Wood Elves gave it one last valiant charge. Did disrupt a lot of Archers, but it's just too much. The Fireborn are even back, which is extra problematic. Devil's up about 2,000 damage value. I would agree, though it honestly looks even worse than that. More Apotheosis cast for the Dragon Lord. Army is going to hit soon as that expensive Lord is healing themselves up, and the Wood Elves are all starting to rout. That should be a double whammy from which the Wood Elves can't recover. I'm guessing it's going to be one more Dragon hit onto this guy, and then it's over. Dragon hit. Did it end? Nope, I was wrong and dumb. It was like 2 seconds after, but... Nope, I was wrong and dumb. Nice builds from both players. Devil's High Elves was very good. Very good build from him. I liked the War Dancer rush. It was cool. It was neat. There's also a reason you don't see a ton of War Dancer spam, and that's part of the reason. They're very weak to cavalry charges. They're weak to monstrous infantry. They're weak to ranged fire. The only thing they're strong against is fighting other infantry, and it's just risky. Because if your opponent doesn't bring in, like, I don't want to say honest to be a dick, like, but like, handshake, let's both take a front line, some cavalry, some archers, and a lord and see what happens. If your opponent goes something extreme like 12 ranged or whatever, the War Dancer's just gonna have a shit time, as we saw. GG, lads. Congratulations to Devil for the win. I will talk to this guy. All right, congrats, Devil. Devil. Congrats on the win, sir. Contact the Phoenix King about a prize he offered to the winner. All right, back to casting. There's no more live games. There's no more shenanigans. So let's go through. Let's narrow down what we need here. Scaven versus Slaanesh. I haven't got any Cartfish yet. And then we have Lucky Spotify and Scaven. I heard this one was good. This one just says hi. It does have Queek in it. It's Brothers Grimm and Tripthicken. Do we have any Tripthicken? Have I cast any Tripthicken? Okay, we'll do the Skaven mirror that has Queek in it. I'm gonna skip this one. I'm just figuring out what I'm casting for the night. Wait, shit, what did I just delete? I thought I deleted a good one. Fuck, what did I do? No! Okay, we still have it, it's up there. Cool, so I want to get rid of this one. We cast a lot of Siegfault tonight. We cast some Grippin, so I'm gonna skip that one. Sorry, lads, sorry. I can't cast them all. Spy Rat, we did cast some, and this is Vampire Counts versus Kite. I don't want to cast Kite. This one says not good, but then the player said it actually is good, and that's a wild-ass greenskin build, so sure, I'll do that. Devil versus Corvus Glaive. I'm not inspired, and I can't cast every game, so I'm going to skip. Ogres versus Billy Mays. Sure, why not? That looks so scary and degenerate. Oh god, it's Sky Kite versus Vampire Counts. Okay, we have more Falling Star, so I'm not skipping his only replay here. Pasha and Falling Star. Oh, let's do this. Corn versus some Vampire Counts, so skip that. Another Cartfish versus Greenskins. Scaven versus Scaven. That's not Scaven versus Vampire Counts. That is actually a lie. You have lied to me. That's the same one, but from the other side. Vampire Coast versus Vampire Counts. Okay. Okay. There's Staggeraki versus Wes. We can do that. Lizardmen versus Beastmen. That's Corvus versus Devil. Sure, it's a monster match. Fuck it. Potato versus Stitler. I don't know if we cast too much Stitler, so we'll cast that one. There's Billy Mays and Johnny Cash. Sure. Sure. Okay. That's the one we were supposed to cast, and then that's the end of it. That is a lot of fucking replays. All right, let's go. Let's do it. Scene Boy, how's your day? Good. Busy. Wesley Bravo, I will. I will. After this one. After this one, Wesley, I will go find it. But we have to go into hypercasting mode because I have to go to work tomorrow, and let's get on with it. So, hypercasting mode, activate. We have a pretty neat formation. 2 warp fire throwers in the middle of Skaven slaves and plague monks. We have a Gracier of Varun with just warp lightning. And then up on a hill, we have 4 storm vermin halberds in a separate box around plague claw catapults with 3 rat ogres chilling on the side. The only note is warp fire throwers are actually pretty bad when they're not in the front line. Their arc of fire is terrible, so they often get obstructed by things. Warp fire throwers aren't a great unit, but when they are good, it's usually you put them in the front line, kind of like miners with blasting charges, where their first volley does a lot of damage and then they kind of just die. But yeah. For Slaanesh, we have Hellstriders, Hellscourges, Seekers. Then we have Chaos Furies, an Exalted Keeper of Secrets of Shadows with just Melkoths and the Withering, and then a whole bunch of Devoted Marauders to make a nice cheap and chipper front line. So these Hellstriders and Seekers are trying to figure out what's going on here with this box, but then the Storm Vermin start to move. Uh-oh, making holes in the box. And where there are holes, Slaanesh is happy. You heard me. Warp Fire Throwers, both of them together, take out an entire Devoted Marauder on the charge. Meanwhile, Rat Ogres do get caught out by these Seekers and Hellstriders, and if they don't get infantry support quickly, they will die to these advances. Or Hellstriders try to get a charge, but they decide against it when they see the Storm Vermin with Halberds coming up. These Furies are going to land on the Warp Fire Throwers. Should kill them pretty fast, but Warp Fire Throwers are only 550. If they can kill one more unit, then the two Warp Fire Throwers will probably have done their work. But you can see it's already half HP, so the Fury's killing them quite fast. Nice rear shot from the Warp Fire Throwers. The burnt leadership debuff plus the burst damage should get rid of them, as we already lost a Seeker as well. Scaven holding for a little bit. Nice Warp Lightning out. Gets a lot of damage. Plague Claw Catapults also providing a leadership debuff. If you're going for all leadership debuffs, I don't know why the Grey Seer didn't bring his leadership debuff item. He's a -4 aura. In comes the Rampage, keeping the Warp Fire Throwers and the Grey Seer in melee combat with the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. Overhead fire from Plague Claws trying to help out, but it's just not doing enough. Plague Monks need to move up and find some infantry to kill. Specifically, all these goddamn Marauders running around. They need to be told what for. Skaven Slave frontline is faltering. I mean, Marauders beating Skaven Slaves is not surprising. I would be shocked if Skaven Slaves beat Marauders. That'd be real bad. Furies are thinking about diving the Plague Claw Catapult. With some Hellstrider support, they might be able to. Actually, they're just diving the Rat Ogres. Oh. Okay. I like that more than charging the Plague Claws from the front, because if you charge it from the front, they just get locked up on the catapult models, and they don't actually do that much. But fighting the Rat Ogres, they do really good damage, so that's quite nice. Like that a lot. Seekers rear charge Plague Monks. The Slaanesh player has some good micro. They're killing it. Doing great. Grey Seer's getting sniped out by the Exalted Keeper. Not too much that was brought in this build that could stop that from happening, unless he was just sitting literally on top of Halberds. The Rat Ogres are routing. Slaanesh is starting to pull ahead. And there is a reason that this is a tough matchup. Slaanesh are like built to rout you and run you down, which Skaven really don't like being routed. Really don't like being run down either. Grey Seer's almost sniped out. If that Grey Seer dies, this game is probably over. Storm Vermin have decent leadership, but I mean, Skaven with Other Lord, all of them are cowardly. Still have a couple Storm Vermin holding on the high ground, trying to keep the Plague Claw Catapult online. And the Grey Seer is trying to get back there, but a Fascination, Tier 3 armor ability just rampages him back into the Exalted Keeper of Secrets. If the Grey Seer had been up here, maybe the Halberds could have helped him against the Exalted Keeper, but that is not the case, as now he is just routing. One more hit probably sends him to actually routing, not just terror routing. And then he's at the mercy of Slaanesh. He won't rally before he hits the edge of the map. So there he goes. Balance power tiffs heavily into Slaanesh's favor. Still have Devoted Marauders moving up. Still have some Hellstriders around that need to rally back to the fight. Looks like they were chasing stuff down and killed it. Exalted Keeper needs one more hit. Bam! The Grey Seer is dead. And Skaven morale in shambles. Seekers running the Plague Claw Catapults while Storm Vermin Halberds were trying to save the Grey Seer. They're now going back to the Plague Claw, but a little late. We still have 3 healthy Storm Vermin Halberds and a 4th one that is at half HP. The Exalted Keeper Secrets did not bring Pit of Shades. It's not like she has a get-out-of-jail-free card here, but these full health Halberds looking at half leadership right now. Not bueno. Side charge in from the Hellstriders, trying to just shock damage these Skaven out of the fight, though that wasn't a full rear charge, so I don't think they actually get the attacked in the flank leadership debuff or anything like that. In comes the Seekers to try the exact same thing, but with a little more oomph behind them than Hellstriders offer. Still honestly not a lot. Side charges are not the same as rear charges. This Skaven of balance power is so bad, but also like Slaanesh is having a really hard time clearing out all these Storm Vermin. If the Exalted Keeper Secrets came over here, her Terror would get rid of these two, and that could actually be quite nice for Slaanesh, but looks like the Keeper is maybe going to tease these Storm Vermin on the high ground. If you're gonna cast one of my games, I recommend the Ogre Kingdoms one. The Corn one is good, I think, but maybe the Ogre one is better. Check the build, see what interests you. Yeah, I did check the builds. Are Scaven in good multiplayer? Yes, they're very good. They're not top tier. They're not like one of the best 5 factions, but they're up there. They're definitely above middle. So, they're quite good. Scaven are eaten nicely. Storm Vermin and Plague Moist on the low ground finally routed. On the high ground, the Slaanesh Lord debuffs the Storm Vermin, trying to make their melee defense a little more palatable for the Devoted Marauders to take out. Seekers are going to rear charge. Tier 3 army ability Rampage. It looks like they're going for the army losses play right now. So they're getting as much damage as they can with all these shock charges, and then army losses will just take the halberds out, and Slaanesh doesn't have to actually grind them down. There you go. Who are the best? 3 dwarves, demons of chaos, and ogres. When are you doing another tier list roundtable? I just did it. I did a tier list with Tequila Sunset when the patch dropped. What the fuck is this? We don't do a tier list every week. We do a tier list when shit changes. There were no changes. Maybe you missed it, but I did one with Tequila Sunset near the start of the year. Good patient play from Slaanesh. Cartfish did very well. I need to message Cartfish because he lied to me. Okay. Yeah. So we got that. Somebody wanted their Ogres game cast now. It was on my list of things to cast, so I'll just do it now. Not that one. Where? Where is your goddamn... There it is. 10 minutes, no tier list, shake my head. Demons of Chaos, what happened? A lot of buffs for demonic units, and then a lot of DLCs. We have Thagaraki versus Billy Mays. Gonna see some ogres. Husband boy, I have never watched your streams intoxicated. Please give guidance. No. 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 I leave you on your own. You must figure out your own problems. Alright, for the ogres, we have Blood Vultures, Frontline Piggyback Riders, and Noblars. We do have some Lead Belchers, Noblar Trappers, Man-Eaters of Great Opens, Yetis, and the Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw with Troll Guts, and Bragg the Gutsman. Meanwhile, Lead Belchers entirely mess up a Chaos Warrior with Halberds. That is a dead unit. For Chaos, we have Skull Crushers of Khorne, Severed Claw, Chaos Warriors with Halberds, Blood Beasts, Marauders of Khorne with Dual Weapons, Marauder Horsemen, and Valkia. This is the Warriors of Chaos doing their best to actually get into this fight before it's over. Very nice Spear Slopner down the Noblars. Takes almost 2 of them out on the charge. But Bragg is going to give Valkia a hard time, as he monstrous impacts those are pretty much nothing. Yetis are going to dive in as well. The Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw already took her down to half HP. Noblars and Pigback Riders not having a good time against the Marauders of Khorne, Dual Weapons, and some Blood Beasts jumping into. Maneater Countercharge will do quite well. Oh, there's Herald Hammerstorm. What are you doing here, friend? The Hammer of Harry, Heroic Killing Blow. Damn, he has a lot of stuff. Speaking of a lot of stuff, Valky is dead. Like, just dead. Flat out, uncontested, dead. Skullcrusher's trying to get in here. Now they do have an open access to the back line. Piggyback Riders are out of the way here, so they can maybe get onto the Lead Belchers, who are now forced to retreat. Valky is still just trying to stay alive as Herald Hammerstorm is in there. Bragg the Gutsman's trying to get his execute off. It is passive, so if someone's just nearby that has taken enough damage, they will just execute of their own volition. Valky is not at that point though, and she's trying to get back into the sky. Not able to as Bragg gets another hit on the back, but that should get her up in the sky. She's plenty far away. Marauder Horseman firing 2 Lead Belchers with a lot of ammunition are a lot of balance of power, and if Warriors of Chaos can keep these guys on the back foot, they could actually come back in this game. Not just memeing, not doing the caster thing where I always have to say the game isn't over. If these Skull Crushers run back here and kill both these Lead Belchers, this game is not over. Severed Claw grinding with the piggyback knights. If Valky's next Spear Slapnir goes down those guys, that would also be quite huge. Yetis are going to be a bit of a problem. Man-Eater's a bit of a problem, but you have Skirmish Cav. Man-Eaters are crazy low armor, no missile resist, no shields. So really, if you kill the Lead Belchers, you could be back in this game. Valkia and Herald are trying to snipe out the Slaughtermaster. Slaughtermaster does not want to fight Valkia, mostly because she's next to Herald. The Skullcrushers did get one of the Lead Belchers, making the bounce power look a lot more appetizing. Elsewhere, yeah, the Man-Eater's getting kited. This is exactly what the Warriors of Chaos need to be doing. Lead Belchers continuing to retreat. Skullcrushers should change their targets and go after those guys pretty soon here. But Valkia landing was a little overeager, and now she's surrounded by Yetis. Doing decent damage back to them, but Bragg is here, and Bragg is just trying to get you low enough for that Gutsman thing. The foreboding executioner to proc. So Valkia needs to get up in the air and just honestly stay there. Troll Guts out for the Man-Eaters as the Skirmish Cap keep trying to poke him, and Skullcrusher is actually just going to try and take a charge on these guys. The Lead Belchers get caught by the Marauders with dual weapons, but Skullcrushers don't want to let that heal go through. Do want to catch the Man-Eaters without any support. Valkia gets executed by Bragg. And that's a pretty bad time for the Warriors of Chaos. Their leadership is going to take a mighty hit. You can see the Marauders of Corner now routing. These Chaos Warriors are also going to rout. The Skullcrushers look like they might beat the Man-Eaters, but the healing was quite powerful. It kept them in the fight for a long time, and the Skullcrushers paid for it dearly. So unfortunately, I think the Skullcrushers probably should have kept chasing the Lead Belcher, and I think Valkia shouldn't have taken the fight on the ground at all. Yetis dive into the back of the Skullcrushers, and now these guys are doomed. Frostbite lowering their speed down to 33. They can't even outrun the Man-Eaters if they wanted to, so they're locked into this fight. They will get killed off. And the Warriors of Chaos having some fraudulent balance of power issues from Herald and the Severed Claw. But again, as we've talked about a lot this stream, like just slow foot infantry grinding is not usually a great way to win a game. So when a lot of your balance of power is locked up in those guys, you're going to have a bad time. So there is no more foreboding executioner. It's not like he's just going to get more of that. And Herald actually beats Bragg's ass. But the Lead Belchers, if you use their ammo effectively, you can kill the Severed Claw. I know they don't have a lot of models, but if you get up nice and close and just shoot them in the face, still do a lot of damage. Slaughtermaster of the Great Maw can heal up the Yetis. You still have 10 out of 16 models, and they can be used to kill off Herald Hammerstorm. You don't have a lot of great tools to kill Harry, I'll give you that. But you can get it done. Lead Belcher's just firing into these poor halberds as they wander forward. Should shoot at the Severed Claw, especially when they're in this tighter formation. That just makes it easier to get penetrating shots through that hit multiple models. If they're walking in like the widest line possible, it doesn't actually do that much damage. Got rid of their barriers. Getting some decent damage down on them. Lead Belchers just need to reload and fire. Noblars, move. Get out of the way. Chew. Nice heal onto the Man-Eaters, trying to get them back up and healthy so that they can help out with Herald. Still the Severed Claw just walking straight into Lead Belcher fire. And the Noblars are in the way. Herald's getting Psycho Charged by Bragg, and that is GG. Harry heard there was a self-healing enemy caster lord and jumped in without further info. Yeah, he thought it was undead. Pretty decent value on Man-Eaters. Lead Belchers, I imagine, did well. One of them did. For Billy Mays here, taking a pretty good Warriors of Chaos build. And it was a pretty close game. It's just the ending was quite decided when there was Lead Belchers left and just infantry. The Lead Belchers are significantly faster, so they can run away and shoot. But it was a pretty close game up until then. Man-Eaters were nearly a spent force. Yetis had taken some serious damage and were just waiting on healing. Is GG. Spyrat said this was not good, but I mean, look at that build. How could that be bad? How could that be bad? I'll be back. I'll be back. Grabbed a sparkly water. Okay, here we go. Tomb Kings versus Greenskins. Greenskins brought 4 Goblin Bolt Throwers, a Black Orc, regular, not the Great Weapon variant, Orc Boy Spears, Orc Boar Boys, and then an Arachnarok Spider Goblin Shaman with the Swamp Things, and another River Troll. That's cool. On the other side, for the Greenskins, not the Greenskins, Tomb Kings, the exact opposite of the Greenskins. We have, I thought a Vortex spell, but it got canceled, I guess. Carrion, the Sphinx of Usef, Katep, and then Skeleton Spearmen, King Cast Swordsman Legion, more Skeletons, Skeleton Warriors, Melee Ushapti, Sprockle Stalkers, Chosen the Gods. Okay. ROR heavy build, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 regiments for now. The Spider Shaman does need to keep running away as they try and Gorkle fix it to slow down the enemy to give the Bolt Throwers more time to shoot, but the Greenskins need to be moving up and taking the melee fight, because their Bolt Throwers have plenty of range. They can participate in the battle no matter what, but you don't want the enemy getting right up next to your Bolt Throwers, so the Orc Spear Boy should be walking forward and taking the fight. As the Goblin Great Shaman runs away. Chosen the Gods in the Eyes of the Desert, making him regret ever being born, down to about half HP. He'll get to safety. Put green icy pops on it to make it green. In the wine? Ugh. That's horrifying. Orc Spear Boy's gonna fight the Sphinx, plus some Orc Boar Boys for armor piercing. Don't have anti-large, so their melee attack is crazy low. But if they get their Wa out, which they probably will in a second, they'll have enough melee attack to actually hit the Sphinx. Bolt Thrower still firing away at the Eyes of the Desert. That's going okay. The Swamp Things do need to go get in a fight. Just apply their debuffs, add some damage, do their regen stuff. Other River Trolls also need to move up. They're kind of staying in the back as if they're needed to peel cavalry, but I don't see any cavalry here from the Tomb King, so go for it. Just go get in the fight. Swamp Things are in there now. Another Gorkle fix it. Slowing down the Sphinx of Usef. One of the Bolt Throwers is in a bit of trouble. Boar Boys found themselves the Chosen Gods as these other Spear Chuckas still try and do some stuff. They're not getting that much value, considering how long they've been shooting at things, so I'm starting to think the Goblin Bolt Throwers might not be very good. But can one put a price on such silliness? No. No. Spirit Chuck is still firing away, still trying to kill the Eyes of the Desert, still not doing very much damage, probably being honest. Sad. Chosen Gods are dead. Greenskin's doing fine in melee elsewhere. The Orc Spear Boys holding for quite a long time. These Orc Boar Boys that killed a whole Chosen the Gods are also going to get a rear charge in the Eyes of the Desert, so they'll kill them too, claim all the credit for the kills. Meanwhile, the Sphinx of Usef is dueling the Goblin Great Shaman, and he will win that fight. Even has 2 buffs on him right now. Yeah, he's gonna crazy win that fight. Orc Boys are trying to help out. All the Spear Throwers are trying to help out too, but that Goblin Great Shaman is gonna lose that fight quite badly and die. Ushapti and King Cash Scorpion Legion get into the back line. The Bolt Throwers are running out of time. Black Orc's still trying to find a fight, but the Goblin Great Shaman is gonna retreat. Boar Boys all terror routing away as well, and the Greenskins are up on the balance of power, but I am very concerned that that is not actually true. As another Wa comes in, that could save the Greenskins, giving the Boar Boys enough melee attack to maybe hurt this big Sphinx. And the Goblin Great Shaman is going to charge back in with the Wa. The Wa only has 6 more seconds, though, so he has to get in there while the getting's good. Misses his first attack on a rear charge with Wa going. Not a good start. And there he starts to get some damage, and the Sphinx will finish him off. The last Bolt Thrower is still trying to fire at him. Another Overcast Cursed Blades. And that's more bonus for charges, it's more damage, and he's going to take out that Goblin. Without the Goblin Great Shaman, Greenskin leadership is going to fall apart, so these Bolt Throwers are both rout. Ooh, Spear Boys are already routing. And the Trolls will get much easier to rout, because they're already Trolls. They're already super scared of everything. Greenskin Lord is dead. Bounce Power is slightly Greenskin favored still, but that doesn't factor in a lot of things. The River Trolls are immune to terror, which is quite nice because they cause terror. So they should be doing decent damage to the Sphinx Usef. In comes the Ushapti summon. Greenskins just have to hold out. Just have to hang on. Let the crumbling do its work. Let the Ushapti summon fade away. But I don't know if they have the gusto to really hold in there. River Trolls rout, and that's pretty bad. They almost killed the Sphinx Usef, but they couldn't hold on. And now the Black Orcs are going to have to do enough holding for everybody. Oh, hey, the Kepler Guard are here. Okay, that's really bad. That's really bad for the Greenskins. Blackworks can kill infinite skeleton spearmen, but Kepperguard actually do damage back to them. Especially if you cast Japs and Kadisha Curse Blades on them. Carrion are about to fade away. That should allow the River Trolls to come back. The Blackhawks are just trying to hold, let the Greenskins get their feet back under them. Good lord, that's a lot of skeletons still left. Okay. We'll see. That Skeleton Warrior is going to fade. That Skeleton Spearman is going to fade. This Skeleton Warrior is going to fade. River Trolls are back, and poor boys are back. Black Orcs still grinding away. They even popped a movable bulwark. Only 8 melee attack, but 67 melee defense. Sphinx Usef ends up in a fight with some Orc Spear Boys. That is a bad time for him. Tries to retreat, loses a couple hundred HP for doing so. Now the Orc Boar Boys are trying to get a charge onto him. In the rear. Also, maybe charge Kotep. Can you kill the big man Kotep? Black Orcs are going to fade away soon, but so is that Ushapti summon. Woo! That was a big win for the Greenskins. Now the Greenskins are starting to rally, and all of a sudden the balance of power jumps up for them. Can they make the comeback? The River Trolls are back for round 2 with the Sphinx Usep. Need to get it below 1,000 HP. That's where it'll generally start to crumble and have some issues. He's getting big damage back onto them, though. There he's starting to crumble, but they're going to rout again, and they shatter this time. They've just taken one too many. He is starting to crumble, so the big Sphinx will fade away. We have River Trolls in the woods fighting against Ushapti. Skeletons trying to show up to support. But that Sphinx Usef is down. Can you even kill the Kepperguard? Hard to say. Boar Boy is going to take the charge with the big Sphinx. Take some damage, but they hold on for now. What's back here? Anything? Boar Boys? Okay, Boar Boys. River Trolls fighting in the woods on Ushapti. Their leadership is terrible. The longer they don't have a Lord, though, I think the leadership debuff gets less bad. Yeah. Lord of Dead is only -10, not -12 anymore. Still, though, it's looking pretty dire as the Greenskins just keep routing / shattering. We've lost multiple Boar Boys just from being near a fight that was happening. River Trolls in the woods. Even though they're winning that fight, they're not feeling too good. Yeah, it looks like the Greenskins just throwing the towel. I thought Greenskin bolt throwers are OP. No. Dwarf bolt throwers are OP. Greenskin bolt throwers are very cheap. It was a very close game from Spy Rat and Pasha. Pasha clutched it out. The Skellington Legions. You could have used Bad Moon on all the Skellies. Yeah, Kotep was resetting all your cooldowns. Any Brothers Grimm yet? I don't know. I don't know. Is Triple Thickenson that one? There's Brothers Grimm. There. It's right there. It's there. You want that one? You want me to cast that one? I'm not gonna. You can't make me. You can't tell me what to do. I believe we cast at least one other Brothers Grimm game, but I'll do this one just for you, buddy. Just for you, Fireball Phoenix. Thagaraki's Corn versus the Warriors of Chaos of Brothers Grimm. Not the corn one, please. It's what I got. It's the only one I still have. We have Marauder Horsemen, Throwing Axes, Corn Gores, Scarbrand, Bloodletters, and Minotaurs of Corn, plus the Bloodwake Berserkers. It was terrible. Oh, they're mad. They're upset. They're upsetty spaghetti. Chaos Spawn, Dog, Sigvald, all the Marauder Horsemen, Chaos Sorcerer of Death with Feobuna and Spirit Leech, and then a Hell Cannon. Sigvald is going to get chopped by Scarbrand. You can do my last replay if you want. What is it? What is it, Spotify? Tomb Kings versus Rats? I thought I looked at that one. Thought we looked at that one. Anyway, Sigvald gets immediately karate chopped by Wrathful Reaper, Scarbrand. 1,000 damage per strike. Sigvald doesn't have that big of an HP pool. He now starts to dodge it as soon as I bring up that he's doing okay. And Corn is going straight through those Marauders, dude. Straight through them. Chaos Spawn are not a match for the Minotaurs. Nobody is a match for the Bloodwake Berserkers, who just rip apart this area. Sigvald is getting sniped by Scarbrand. One more hit should do it. There we go. Sigvald's dead. Dogs are all going to rout because Sigvald's dead. Me against Spotify was good. Okay, okay. There are two Tomb Kings versus Rats. You deleted the wrong one. Fine. Anyway. Minotaurs of Khorne getting hit with the Hell Cannon, but I don't think that there is too much left for the Warriors of Chaos here, as they are getting run off the map. The Sorcerer is at full HP and thinking about routing just because Scarbrand is near him. That's not great. Fade Immune onto what? The Bloodwake Berserkers? Yeah, take that, Bloodwake Berserkers. See, I know I deleted the wrong one, but I also, like, there's a lot of repeats of Scaven. There's Scaven versus Scaven, then there was Scaven versus Tomb Kings. I think 2 Scaven versus Tomb Kings. There's a lot of Scaven going around. I love how this Deathcaster's just walking Scarbrand around the map. Anyway, the Hell Cannon is finally going to get shut down by these Martyr Horsemen of Khorne. That should be a big dip in the balance of power and probably send us into army losses. And Scarbrand needs to just pop his Rampage again. His Rampage could draw that caster back into a fight, then he could kill him. Yeah. It's looking like GG, and apparently people want me to go cast a different replay, so I'll just hit the ×2 speed on this one. Bam! Bop! Rear charge. Bop! Army losses. Okay, so wait, I want to go look at it, because I think you people are fooling me. Is that not this one? That is this one. I still had this one saved. Why is everybody yelling at me? It's right there. I had it. Oh, I had it. You know what? Y'all are bullies. I'll watch it, but not because you want me to. Because you're being jerks. Okay, immediate problems. Immediate problems. I'm upset. Oh, I don't like this Scaven build. Airstrikes, how dare you. Okay, so here's the Scaven build. Here's the problem with it. Everything's wrong with it. You have 2 types of Wolf Rats. These Wolf Rats, they have 2 armor piercing damage, 24 base weapon. These guys only have 16 weapon strength, 10 of its armor piercing. I personally have never found a situation where the magic damage Wolf Rats are ever worth it. Personally. I think they just take too much of a weapon strength hit. And then they don't get poison. So they don't slow down their enemies. They don't reduce all their damage by 15. So, I don't know. I don't like it. I hate those Wolf Rats. That's the only complaint I had, but it was a big complaint. It's big. I don't like it. I'm mad and angry. Okay. Now that I've complained a bunch, let's get on with it. Skeleton Spearman Frontline, Chosen Gods, and another Shop to Great Bow. We have a regular-ass Tomb King on his cat, a Lich Priest of Light with just net, then we have a Casket of Souls, and Necropolis Knight Halberds, some Carrion in the back line, and that is it. For the Scaven, we have triple dogs, some rat ogres, clan rats, 2 Giselles, Night Runners, Warp Lightning Cannon, a Warlord on his Brood Horror, which is very good. And then a Plague Priest on foot with just Vermintide Summon. Okay. Giselles can counterfire Ushabti super nicely. That is exactly what they want to be doing. I honestly wouldn't take dogs in the Tomb King matchup at all because there's literally no good targets for them unless the Tomb Kings take skeleton archers, which almost never happens in this matchup. Dogs just have a hard time getting a lot of value. Did I mention 2 Necropolis Knights with halberds? I feel like I did, but maybe I didn't. Carrion get on to Warp Lightning Cannons, who are currently undefended. Also looks like the Giselles are in a similar situation now. The Warlord has to try and peel an awful lot of things. The Night Runner's getting sniped out by the Screaming Skull Catapult. The Casket of Souls is what I said. I said the correct thing. So they're not around to help out with the Carrion thing, and they are actually routing of their own accord. So the Skaven losing some very expensive weapons teams. Now, it's not entirely one-sided. We did kill a new Shopti Great Bow with that time. Wolf Rats are charging in, but Necropolis Knights catch them on the charge and will rout the Skaven Wolf Rats. Skaven Wolf Rats have insanely low leadership, which is their balancing factor because they're cheap. They're very fast. They do the most damage of any dog in the game besides Norscan Ice Wolves. But, man, their leadership blows. Rat Ogre's going to pile in on the Necropolis Knights. This should be much better for them. I think Rat Ogres will trade up in Necropolis Knights generally. And the Skaven ranged Heading for the hills is very, very bad. Their Night Runners are having a bad time, Jadils are having a bad time, and overall you can see the bounce power is turned against them at this point, and I would agree. Now, Clan Rats can do a number on Skeleton Spearman front lines, so technically the Scaven should have a better front line, and this unholy pile of Rat Ogres and Clan Rats will definitely kill 2 Necropolis Knights, which are very expensive, so it's a big win for the Scaven. Other Rat Ogres fighting against the front line. The Warlord needs to get involved over here, though. Night Runners just need to defend for themselves. They're already a little doomed, so just let them go. Warlord's going to finish off the basic Ushapti, that's fine. And then I would like for him to go harass the Chosen the Gods. That would be pretty good. We have more Clan Rats coming out of the trees. The Skaven just kind of filtering in as they are able, but the Necropolis Knights dying is pretty bad for the Tomb Kings, balance of power-wise. I don't think it's a terrible thing in the case of this game because I think Necropolis Knights are bad. So what I'm taking from this is I should start signing up for these tournaments and taking the absolute worst Skaven builds I can imagine just to give Human Boy a nervous wreck. Yes, Scotch. Yes. Anyway. I get distracted by chat sometimes. Rat Ogres are starting to rout. That Clan Rat is a summon and it shattered, and it had the summoning bug where sometimes if a unit is knocked down, it can't take the summoning damage, so then it'll survive the unsummoning and just shatter. Brood Horror Lord is harassing the Chosen the Gods. Dogs are trying to fight the Casket of Souls, and that might be one where they can hold on. They might be able to fight the Casket of Souls without routing. Might. Maybe. Possibly. Balance of power is turning heavily in the Tomb King's favor. Skaven still try and kill these Necropolis Knights who are holding on. Give them their credit. Wolf Rats just give up fighting the Casket of Souls. They lose their attack order somehow. The Brood Horror Lord is still harassing the Chosen Gods. And can the Skaven hang in there? Probably not. It does not look likely. No. The answer is not a bit. Not at all. Fuck that. Casket of Souls still firing up and over. Where is it going? What's it going to do? Let's find out. It's going to hit some Night Runners who are already routing. Because it is a jerk. Necropolis Knights starting to crumble. Already at very low HP points. The crumbling will actually take them out pretty quickly. Other Rat Ogres have joined the dogs. And there we go. That's real damage onto the Casket of Souls. And then have the Warlord attack the Chosen the Gods with your guys. And then his Encourage Aura will help the Wolf Rat stay in. But he's trying to snipe out the Netcaster, which is also good. But I just wanted to hang out with the Wolf Rats because they're buddies. Necropolis Knights are all dead. Skaven are coming back on the balance of power. Casket of Souls is dead. Skaven are coming back on the balance of power. The Chosen the Gods have to stop and fire at point blank range into some dogs. Dogs, go get him. Dogs, go get his ass. Get him. Get him. With the Warlord too. Warlord's knighted, but go get him. No, don't rout. Don't rout, you fucking assholes. Clan Rats are all gonna rout, but who gives a shit about them as the Skaven trying to rally all these Molder monsters. Please kill the Chosen the Gods. Do it. Get. They killed the Casket of Souls. They just need new orders. There they go. Warlord's also going to run over. Yes, it's perfect. Yes, his Encourage will keep the Wolf Rats in the fight. Yeah, get him. Get their ass. Wolf Rats, you stupid fucks. Ah, they shattered anyway. You hate to see it. So, for the Tomb Kings, we still have a healthy caster who only has nets. It's not like it's going to do that much damage. A basic Tomb King who is very healthy. And then we have some Skeleton Spears and some Carrion. For the Skaven, it's dwindling. I'll be honest, it is dwindling. We have a couple Rat Ogres of varying health points, but not great. Plague Priest full health, Warlord full health. Dogs are almost dead, and Clan Rat summons are doing well. Clan Rats basic are all like dead. Another net is out for the Rat Ogres to keep the Chosen Gods safe. Dogs are fighting the Lich Priest of Light. Getting decent damage out on him. He's just a little horse character after all. The Warlord charges in for a little bit of extra oomph. Skaven are back on the balance of power to being about even, but the army summon. Oof. Ushapti summon at this point in the game is going to be pretty brutal for the Skaven, because that Clan Rat's a summon. It's going to tear out any second now, and then it'll fade away of its own accord. The Skaven are running out of damage, and that's a big concern. Warlord and the dogs kill Lich Priest Light. Wolf Rat's probably getting a lot of value. Yeah, they're doing good. The Chosen Gods are back to firing. They did survive. And the dogs can't manage that. Even getting root charged by the Carrion's probably going to rout them. Another Clan Rat summon out from the Scaven. Now, this Ushapti is also fake. So there's a lot of fake shit going around. But when the Ushapti fades, this Skeleton will fade. That Carrion will fade. The dogs are staying in it. 3 leadership. 0. 3. And shattered. All right, they're gone. Anyway, what I was going to say is... in the end, it's going to be a very wounded Chosen the Gods, a half-health Spearman, and a full-health Tomb King versus a full-health Plague Priest, a full-health Warlord, and very dead Rat Ogres and Clan Rats. once all the summons are off the battlefield. Scaven have one more summon. It's their only spell. The Warlord is back to hunting Chosen of the Gods. Look at him nipping. Human Boy, you're very an entertaining caster. Dude, I try. I try so hard. Perturb Human Boy idea number 1. Skaven Hero Hammer into Warriors of Chaos. No! No. It can work. I don't like it, but it can work. I hate to kill Sunset. Chosen the Gods still getting hunted down by the Warlords. Skaven have taken the balance of power lead for literally like the first time this whole game, as we have some Rat Ogres who are trying to stay in the fight. This one's getting rear charged by Carrion, so he might rout. This one's getting frontal charged by the Tomb King, so he might rout. The last Clan Rat summon is out, and it needs to fight Skeleton Spearman with its entire life, just to clear out that guy so the Warlord doesn't have to fight on top of spears in the late game. The Skaven are going to start shattering, though, so all these units that are going to rout are routing for their last time. They need to get what damage in they still can. Tomb King is falling to about half HP, but does he have his item? No, he doesn't have his item that gives him 50%, well, I think 20% damage resistance when he's below half HP. But yeah, look at all this shattering coming in. That Clan Rat's fake. Ignore it. It'll probably kill the skeleton in its lifetime, and then it'll fade away. So can these Carrion and the Tomb King kill a Plague Priest and a Warlord? Warlord has no items. Plague Priest has no summons left, or items. No Scrying Stone, no Rally, no Verminous Valor, no Shield of Distraction. Just a naked-ass Warlord on a Brood Horror. 8 seconds left on the Clan Rat. We need the Carrion to support. Looks like they're busy just chasing off anything that could offer help in the late game. There goes the Clan Rat. And the Tomb King is not going to be able to outrun the Warlord. Warlord's poisoning him. And honestly, yeah, if the Plague Priest's going to stay behind, you don't have to take a 2v1. You should probably take the fight you can get right now with the Warlord. Warlord only has 46 leadership. He's up to 57 now. Carrion's still chasing the Clan Rats and the Rat Ogres. And the Tomb Prince charges through the Plague Priest. Does get a good hit down. But he's not going to have a very fun time. Nice the Curse. It's going to do tens of damage versus a single entity. It's a passive that procs when the Tomb King gets damaged enough, so it's not like the player did anything wrong. Carrion's still chasing that Clan Rat. The other Carrion need to come back. The Tomb Prince really needs their help. So they need to get back here quickly. I don't even know if chasing down a Clan Rat is honestly worth their time. Because, like, look at all the free damage the Tomb King is taking while he's waiting for help to come. Brood Horror's just sniffing his buns. So as the Brood Horror continues to get pokes down, I will fast forward briefly. He tries to charge the Plague Priest, but the Brood Horror is holding the place briefly. Then he gets a charge in, does do some damage on the charge. Little bit of poke. That Carrion is still trying to get here, but Tomb King keeps taking damage. Brother, chasing that Clan Rat is not worth it anymore. Please, please come back. Brother, help me. Tomb King is down to 3,000 HP. Carrion dive onto the Plague Priest. So does the Tomb King. Again, he gets a little bit of damage down. But everybody's ignoring the Warlord. And the Warlord's like right there, doing things, killing stuff, eating people. Have you considered having a come to Jesus moment? Maybe? Good, Jan. Good. Really nice hit onto the Plague Priest. Tries to refresh his charge bonus. Takes a couple hit from the Warlord. Look at him. Look at him scuttling. And he's gonna die. Oh, no. There he goes. He's dying. Army losses is crying. And I'm reading the Witcher books, and they are just softcore porn. That's unrelated, but it's true. The Witcher books are politics and sex. That's all they are. He hasn't killed a single monster, and I'm halfway through book 2. He hasn't killed anything. That Warlord is just an Eshin Brood Horror. That's why the cat can't find him. I mean, he got 2,004 to value. GG's. I feel like people are going to get mad at me for saying the dogs aren't very good, and then there's a dog that got 1,000 value. But to be fair, this was an unconventional build from Spotify. Usually there's not a horse caster you can feast on. Normally there's not a casket of souls versus Scaven. So those are two little odd things. Oh. Okay, hat for cat, I see. It is 10:30. Let's take another look at these. We've cast some Billy Mays. We've cast some Johnny Cash. I don't know if we've gotten enough Stittler in our lives. There's Devil and Corvus Glaive. Corvus bringing a caster is heresy in the highest form. There's some more Johnny Cash. There's the Thrak twins. I'm going to cast that one instead of this one. We've cast some Billy Mays, so I don't feel like I'm leaving them out, but also I just need to cut down on the games. Scaven versus Scaven, that is wild in all the worst ways. Then there's Cartfish versus Lucky Spotify. We just cast some Spotify, and we cast some Cartfish not that long ago, so I'm going to skip it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. There's Falling Star and Thrak the twins. Okay. We cut down some. Also, it should work to like 100% of what living in Poland is like. Of course, sex and feudal politics. Yeah. That's all it is. Falling Star and Khorne versus Vampire counts. The Red Duke rides again, this time not into a giant laser dragon. I just want some monster hunting. Is that so wrong? Okay, for Khorne, we have Skull Reapers, Marauders of Khorne as a front line. We do have the Slaughter Guard, Chosen of Khorne, Halberds, ROR. A couple of Marauder Horse and Throwing Axes, 2 Monitors of Grey Opens, and Scarbrand with just his AoE Rampage. On the other side, Mortis Engine, Corpse Cart, and a Necromancer on another Corpse Cart. Necromancer has Heal and Wind of Death. Red Duke also has Heal and Wind of Death. We brought it up earlier. In tournaments, you're not supposed to bring 2 of the same type of spell, but in our new player tournaments, we're generally pretty chill about it. But in a more serious tournament with a more serious environment, you might get in trouble, so just a heads up if you're watching the stream. We have 3 Cryptors in the trees, a front line of Skeleton Spearmen, and we do have the Red Duke with Foe Seeker. I won the High Elves in the finals. Yeah, you did. The only High Elf game this decade was just deleted. No, dude. The High Elves won in the finals, like these people are saying. They did great. Anyway, sorry. I got distracted. I was talking to chat. Cryptor is getting attacked by the Minotaurs of Khorne. Others are coming up too, so that'll be a great fight for the Minotaurs. Scarbrand gets in a nice big rampage, but unfortunately it's not on top of the Slaughter Guard. Where are they? They're way over here. They would love to be in that rampage right now. Just killing the Mortis Engine and all these corpse cards. I love how the Red Duke pops his buffs and thinks about coming over and decides, I don't want to fight Scarbrand either. I'm going to go fight some random Skull Reapers. And then he's like, fine, I'll go kill Scarbrand. He is booking through these Marauders, by the way. He doesn't give a single shit. He is hauling ass over here. He's running out of time on that scroll. Not the scroll, sorry, the potion of strength. $5. I know it's random, but I wanted to thank you for the army guides. Now when I lose on ladder as 5 Elo Wonder, at least I know why. You made me miss a Sword of Khorne. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'm glad you enjoyed the build guides. They were a reward for how many subs we got during the subathon, so happy to do it. Red Duke pops a heal on himself. He is getting some decent damage on his Scarbrand, but now the potion of strength has worn off, so he's just a mortal Red Duke, and he's getting his ass handed to him, so he needs to retreat pretty quickly. Mortis Engine has taken a lot of damage from just Skull Reapers? Wow, just Skull Reapers are whooping on it. They're not even halberds. Mortis Engine's trying to drain and heal, but it's not going great. Khorne's getting a ton of kills off of the zombies, the zombie legions. He's already gotten 1,000 kills, meaning we already saw a Sword of Khorne. We honestly could see another one if he even needs it. Mortis Engine's about to die, as those Skull Reapers are not messing around. They are murdering that thing. Oh my god. Overcast with Invocation of Heck from the Red Duke to try and save his various corpse cards. Also throws out a zombie summon, but the Mortis Engine is already dead. And without the Mortis engine, I don't know how you kill all these elite infantry. The Slaughter Guard are pretty spooky. The Skull Reapers are still pretty spooky. And a zombie summon is just feeding more kills to Khorne. No! Not the zombie summon! I can't sleep. Drink energy drink to play the games. Now I'm not tired. No, devil! Did they abuse double HM? No, Baseminster. They had a 12 archer build. Checker box formation. Shot the Wood Elves to death. Necromancer's about to die. Army losses is imminent as the poor Red Duke cannot escape. He just wants one more duel with Scarbrand. Axe him in the face. Bam! Nice. Sword of Khorne. Sword of Khorne, the Red Duke. Oh. Time it so that the sword hits as the game ends. Fuck him in particular. Yeah, those Skull Reapers are really good versus zombies, apparently. Obviously zombies, but like, I meant the undead as a whole. What did we do here? This one. We cast this one. Okay, Scaven, Mirror. Let's do it. Triple Thick PSN versus Siegfault. Skaven, Mirror. Triple Thick taking Queek, No Caster, Double Doom Wheel, Help at Abomination, 2 Warp Fire Throwers, and Storm Vermin. So someone was having a bit of fun. On the other side, Siegfault went with the Brood Horror Buddies for Fast Terror, Plague Monk Frontline, Night Runners, and Rat Ogres. This build is competitive and strong. The other build is silliness and wild. Which one will win? Frontline of Plague Monks, Gutter Runners, and Night Runners on the side. We have the Warlord and the Packmaster for a ton of healing and terror. 4 Rat Ogres, and then a Warlock Engineer with Flensing Ruin and Doom Rocket. Doom Rocket sucks. Flensing Ruin will be very good against the Double Doom Wheels, Hell Pit, and Queek. Let's see the Doom Rocket. See it. On the other side, we have Skaven Slaves, Skaven Slave Spears. We have Queek Head Taker with, he took Verminous Valor, Dwarf Gouger, and Warp Shard Armor. Then some Storm Vermin, Hell Pit, Double Doom Wheel, Double Warp Fire Thrower, Double Rat Ogres. I'm waiting for that Doom Rocket, Mr. Engineer. Plague Monks are going to kill a lot of Skaven Slaves very quickly. We do need the Doom Wheels. The Doom Wheels can kill Plague Monks nicely after all the buffs Chariots and Doom Wheels have received over the years, but the Doom Wheels need to avoid the Packmasters and the Rat Ogres like the Plague. Warp Fire Throwers are wandering over, trying to get shots onto the Night Runners. Looks like they won't be able to, and now Rat Ogres are going to run them down. The Skaven Slave front line is falling apart super quickly, and the Hell Pit Abomination comes in to save the situation, fight some Rat Ogres, do some decent damage. Queek is holding back for now. He doesn't want none of this smoke with the Warlord yet. Looks like he's moving in now. Doom Wheels are also coming in, but it looks like they're going for Rat Ogres. They're not going for the Plague Monks, so they won't do that much damage to large targets. They're just good against infantry, honestly. Rat Ogres killing off one of the Warp Fire Throwers. The other one is retreating away from the Plague Monks. More Rat Ogres pour downhill to jump at other Rat Ogres. And the joys of a mirror match is looking at all of the same unit fighting each other and wondering whose is whose. If you zoom in, you have no idea whose is whose. What is this? A Flensing Ruin Overcast on all 4 single entities for the green Skavens. That's pretty bad. What else is pretty bad is the Warlord getting his ass kicked by Queek, a Doom Wheel, and a Hell Pit Abomination. But I imagine that one Flensing Rune cast is probably 1,000 value. Yes. Yes, it was. It was more than that. It was 1,300. It was 1,600. It was 1,400. It was 1,500. It was 1,600. On one cast. Yeah, hitting all those single entities with that Flensing Rune is pretty brutal. Queek's already to about half HP. Hell Pit and the Doom Wheels are doing much better because they have larger HP pools. Warlord needs to get to safety. Plague Monk's busy chasing off the Skaven Slaves and Warp Fire Throwers. And since all of the infantry of the Green Army is Skaven Slaves, I mean, if Queek dies, they're literally worthless. Warlord's got routed by a Hell Pit Abomination, looks like, but he is much faster, so he's just going to scuttle to safety. Hell Pit kicking anything's ass is a miracle? Damn right it is. But now with the Rat Ogres and the Packmaster, the Rat Ogres are going to slowly heal It's not a thing a lot of people know about the Packmaster, but when he's next to a Rat Ogre and they're both in melee, he can heal them. So the Rat Ogres are going to slowly heal up while they fight the Doom Wheels. Warlord is back. He scuttles past the Hell Pit, which is now going to get shot by Gutter Runners and surrounded by Rat Ogres. They'll just slow it down, allow the Warlord to get over here and fight Queek. I imagine the Warlock Engineer is waiting eagerly for his next Cleansing Ruin, but it'll be quite a while. He doesn't have Arcane Conduits. It takes him quite a long time to get Winds of Magic. Queek takes 2 shots in a row from the Warlord, is going to rout soon. He is not ITP. That should be a terror rout. Let me see his fucking flag, you stupid Doom Wheel ass bitch. Oop, Verminous Valor going to keep him in the fight for a little bit longer as the Doom Wheels continue to grind it out. That Hell Pit is super surrounded, taking lots of damage. And then Verminous Valor from the Warlord knocks Queek over, and then he goes to get to safety because Queek is spooky. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the Green Army is still trying to reform lines somewhere, somehow. We have a Plague Monk in the corner, needs to come back. There's a Flimsy Ruin. Is it overcast or under? It's under. Still nice. It should rout Queek. It probably won't kill him. Probably not. An undercast shouldn't, but maybe. 13 seconds left. Queek only has 600 HP. It's going to be close. I think his leadership will be too low to ever come back no matter what, but I don't know if he dies from this Flensing Undercast. No, but it was close. Squeak's gone. Bounce power is very, very bad for the Green Army. The Warlord's running from a Doom Wheel. He's probably going to get shot in the butt. He got shot in the butt. Army losses creeps closer. And this game is Ogre Kingdoms. Warlock Engineer fights the Doom Wheel briefly. Kinda surprised it's still going. There we go, Doom Wheel's routing. That should trigger it. GG. Queek still sucks. 400 value for the boy Queek. Storm Vermin did fine, they held forever. Warp Fire Throwers had a hard time getting any shots off them, they got run down. Hell Pit did fine, Doom Wheels did fine. For Siegfeld, Warlock Engineer, 2,300 value off of 2 Warp Cleansing Ruin casts is quite nice. Hi Hazel. Rat Ogres and Gutter Runners did fine. GG. Okay, what do we have? How many more? Can I even do it? There are 3 more. I can't do it. It's impossible. I'm gonna die. Just let me go to bed, you fuckers! Potato and Stidler. Potato. Stidler. My insides are bleeding. I've gone too far. I've pushed too much. Alright. For Stidler and Khorne. Bloodwake Berserkers, Chaos Warriors of Khorne, dual weapons, and some Marauders. We have Scarbrand, double Mind Charge, great weapons, and some Vanguard shenanigans with 3 Furies and a Fleshhound. The other side, for the Empire, Knights of Black Rose, Royal Ultra Griffites, Boris Toddbringer, Deathcast with Fate of Buna and Spirit Leech, more Demigryph Knights and Empire Knights. And then we have Spearmen, the Silver Bullets, and Sterling's Revenge. War Dancers are good versus infantry, they're not. They're just sad. Hey, tell that to Domination. Domination loves spamming War Dancers to kill infantry. Have you ever run into a Wood Elf player called Mad Hatter? I don't think so. Alright, Bloodwake Berserkers reach the Empire front line. They will kill Spearmen so fast. So fast. Look at them go. Look at those Spearmen dying. Boris gets rampaged by Scarbrand. 4 seconds left in the rampage, but maybe the Minotaurs can get here, get a good surround, and hold him in place. Looks like they won't get a surround, but they will get good charge damage out, as the Demigryph Knights are going to try and countercharge and save that situation. The Chaos Furies are in, the Bloodwake Berserkers are out. Oh, Grace is here! Bye, Grace! She snuck in, that was scary. Rear charge on the Chaos Furies from the Knights of Black Rose. Downhill, but they don't have the best offensive stats. They have heavy defensive stats. Hey, Boris got surrounded and killed. He's dead. Bro's gone. Without him, the Empire is in deep shit. The front line is going to start falling apart even faster than it already was. Chaos Furies are starting to fade away, though. Chaos Furies not cheap. Everyone you take out is about 600, 650 value. Say goodbye to those guys. But the Demigryph Knights with not a lot of leadership left in them are probably just going to be terror routing more often than not. Empire Knights, Knights of Black Rose don't have a lot of damage out, so we'll see if the Royal Electric Gryphites... The last hope really is the Royal Electric Gryphites somehow surround Scarbrand and like kill him off. This is the fastest Boris gets KO'd. Yeah, he died real fast. Alright. Fleshhounds of Khorne took a Spirit Leech, or the Bloodroot Berserkers did, or someone did, but the Royal Electric Gryphites are not able to escape, not able to get a good charge down, so they are just getting ground through by the Bloodroot Berserkers. And now, I mean, if the Minotaurs and Scarbrand focus on getting these Demigryph Knights into a bad situation, they could win it all. Honestly, if Scarbrand has his Rampage up soon, which he might, it's only a 90-second cooldown, he just Rampaged Boris at the start of the game. So if he gets a Rampage off in this situation where he has Minotaurs already in melee combat with all these Knights, that could be just GG. Minos are doing their best, man. They're surrounded, they're cleaving. Minos of Khorne have decent armor. 70's not a ton, but it's decent. It means Knights of Black Rose and Empire Knights don't actually do that much damage to them. Another Spirit Leech out onto these guys. Scarbrand continues to fight it out. Empire's getting further and further behind. Silver Bullets have rallied just to shoot in the back of these other guys, doing their best. In comes the mass rout, though, and a big Rampage. So even if the Knights wanted to retreat, they cannot. So these guys will get ground down. I imagine army losses will happen in a couple seconds when everybody starts routing. Knights of Black Rose are immune to psychology, so they have to naturally rout. Then we'll see some terror routes coming over here. Chain reaction, Empire loses, and GG. There go the Demigryphs. Looking at you, you're the next one to rout. Hey, Amethyst Wizard. You can't resist the call of the Blood God for long. Oh, apparently they'll just ignore you. Whatever. He surrendered anyway. Boris Topbringer End Times type shit? Yeah. Went down like a novel, perpetually out of stock. Dude, that was so weird at the End Times. A book just started off with him like suicide charging the beastmen, and then Kazrek comes out of hiding for no reason, fights him 1v1, loses. And it's like, oh, so Kazrek died for no reason. Boris kind of died for no reason. Okay. Minotaurs did great. Good job, Stitler. 2 more games. We can hang on. Nikai and the Duel of Fates will come last. We'll do Johnny Cash versus Thrak the Twin. Then we'll do a Monster Mash. Our first and last Vampire Coast of the night. Versus Thrak the Twins just constantly trying to make the Red Duke work, and the Red Duke is not having a time. The Red Duke is showing exactly why we don't see much Red Duke. Alright, we have the Night Terrors and other Morngulls, and a Morgul Haunter on the flanks, vanguarded, stalking. Then Deck Gunners, Carronades, the Shade Wraith Gunners, so 3 Deck Gunners and a Carronade. Then a bunch of handguns, 2 hand cannons for anti-air, then deckhands mobs, and a pistol caster with Gaze of Nagash, Invocation Heck. Okay. Let me just knock on my window. That's weird. Alright, Red Duke is wandering in. Hand cannons ready to be fierce. Wait, where are the hand cannons going? Oh, there's flanking Fellbads. Ooh, that's not good. That's not yummy for the Vampire Coast. Deck Gunners in a little bit of danger, mostly just because they are so squishy that even Fellbats can do significant damage to them. So the handguns are trying to peel for these guys, while the hand cannons turn towards the Red Duke, who already took a lot of damage and is getting Invocation to Heck. The hand cannons proving how good they are versus aerial units. When they have no line of sight issues, they can put out a lot of DPS. And the Red Duke just has to run away, losing about half his HP. Fellbat's messing with a Carronade, killing a Deck Gunner. That looks like it's going to be it. Red Duke goes to help some other Crypt Horrors fight the Night Terrors. Looks like the Night Terrors aren't interested in that. They're trying to run away while they still can. Fellbats are dying, but they've almost taken the Shade Wraith Gunners with them too. And that's pretty bad for the Vampire Coast, honestly. Could use some Invocation Hex to save these guys, but Fellbat's taking out a Deck Gunner, a Carronade, and honestly almost another Deck Gunner. That's Gigabat value. Probably the most bat value that's ever been gotten ever. Are you meeting YouTube targets these days or just for fun by now? I'm trying my best, but YouTube's been better, but not good enough to be a job yet. We're still trying to make it a job. That'll just take time, and we know it'll take time. Hey, the Red Duke's flying straight into a bunch of guns. Hey, the Red Duke's dying to a whole bunch of guns. Oh, you can't stop there. You can't park there, sir. Sir! Sir! Oh, fuck, he's dead. Man's dead as hell. But no, I'd like to make YouTube a job. It's just hard. It takes a lot of time. Not like a lot of time in the day. It does also take a lot of time in the day, but it takes a lot of time to grow your channel and stuff, unless you get, like, crazy viral. Which is not going to happen in Warhammer ever. Alright, Red Duke is gone. Guns lit his ass up. And now the vampire counts all starting to crumble. Felbat's still hanging in there, killing off the Shade Wraith Gunners. And I love how even without the Red Duke, the bounce power is actually pretty even, just because of the Felbats killing everything. Sorry, stuff with YouTube. We're trying. I remember when you crossed 10k subs, it feels like ages ago. Don't remind me. Morgul Haunter's fighting the Cryptors in the woods, keeping them safe. Meanwhile, the Vampire Coast guns are all just trying to rally and get some stuff done. We technically have one deck gunner left, which they do pretty good against infantry. Another Wind of Death going down the side. It is undercast, so it's not going to do that much damage. The overcast is the big shiny one you're all thinking about. Yeah. Invocation Hex trying to save the Night Terrors, keep them alive, plus their own natural hunger when they're in melee combat, gonna do pretty good. Balance power is still actually quite even. Zombie summons coming out from the Necromancer, so you still have a caster in some form. The Dragon Lord is big and important and very expensive, but the counts don't actually route. It's not like they're doomed without a Lord. Hand cannons again lighting up a single entity. This time it's the Mortis engine. It was full HP, now it is half HP. Man, these hand cannons have to have insane value. Yep, from shooting the Red Duke to shooting the Mortis engine, they have almost 3,000 value. Start making fast-paced, brain-rotted campaign videos. I like multiplayer, though. It's my home. It's my heart and my soul. Zaldrin becoming a Poison Globadier. Appreciate you. Doing your best to keep me sane, and I appreciate it. The Mortis engine got absolutely lit up by these hand cannons. 3,200 value on them as zombies start to fade away across the map. The coast still have a lot of guns left. We still have a Morgul Haunter in the woods fighting Cryptors. Still have some zombies to offer their lives to the Dark Gods. I think that's just GG. 34% more subs than at 10k? Yes. Yes! Oi. I think if another Total War game comes out and I cover that, we're gonna be popping. I think if like Total War, Lord of the Rings, or 40k or whatever they're thinking about comes out, and we cover that shit from launch, big money. The multiplayer's dead. Multiplayer's not dead. We had 20 people sign up for this tournament. That's pretty great. I had 105 people sign up for my World Cup. That's also very great. All right, Cryptors just got lit up, trying to figure out where the vampire counts even have a hope. I think it's just the game relying too much on the Necromancer and the Corpse Cart for balance of power, even though they're not actually killy units. Because there is no shot they do the damage needed to win this. What are those zombies, skeletons? Yeah, that is GG. Like, literally, they don't have the DPS to kill anything with 2 Corpse Carts. The balance of power is like, full health Corpse Cart. It could do it. They can't. They can't do it. I don't know. People say multiplayer's dead, and then like Turin streams and still gets 1,500 people at any point in time on his streams. All of his daily videos get 20k views. And like, I know you're gonna say Turin is the product, and like people just hang out to see Turin, but like still, 20,000 people click on those videos. And my videos get, usually about 2,000. So there's 10 times the viewership out there. It's out there. It just means, you know, those people would watch this game. Right. And if there's a new game, obviously viewership spikes. And it's not like Creative Assembly is going to stop making Total War games. Total War Warhammer 3 might have an end of its life cycle. It probably has 2 or 3 more DLCs left in it, but it'll eventually end. But I don't think the Total War team is just going to be like, well, we're done. You know. They'll probably, like I said, probably going to do Warhammer 40k or Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. I'm hearing all 3 of those float around some pretty reliable areas. People have been waiting for Medieval 3 forever. People have been waiting for Shogun 3. Campaign becomes more complex in multiplayer. You just shit talk Legend more. Get that beef going. Alright. Last game of the night, then I gotta go to bed, so I go to work tomorrow. 5 skink skirmishers. Ooh, one of those is a chameleon skink. We have a skink oracle with Earthblood, and the Shredder of Lustria, Nakai the Wanderer, and a Saurus Scar veteran. For the beastmen, Minotaurs, a giant, Ungor herds, Gore herds, a couple Minotaurs, the Vorgablar Gablar Gablar, Jabberscythe ROR, and then Malagor Dark Omen with all of his spells. That is a very expensive Malagor. Okay. Vargablar Gablar Gablar dives straight into the monster mash. Oh, we have some Centaurs and Feral Cold Ones on the backside. Didn't see those. I don't think they're going to matter here. As the Vargablar Gablar Gablar is about to rout. That is a regiment of renowned giant terror-causing monster already going to rout. As Mantle of Gorok gives it some buffs, but it is not good at fighting other monsters, so all these buffs are unfortunately going to mean nothing. Minotaurs diving into the Shredder of Lustria. They are not the great weapon variants. They don't have that extra bonus versus large for the extra attack. Plague of Dominion is going to rout off the Vargablar Gablar Gablar, and the giant is trying to fight. Minotaurs peeling away all the skinks, but they do need to come back, and it looks like they've realized that. They need to get back over here and get into the fight and help out a little bit. But this is a very tough start for the Beastmen. They've already lost an ROR Jabberscythe for not much to it. Giant is trying to duel, and I haven't seen a Beastman Giant in a while. They look silly. They look very silly. That is a silly looking animal. When I'm drunk, you're my favorite. Thanks, that's high praise. Oh, that's funny. Balance of power, KV. Still worse. It's still worse. Sorry, I got distracted by chat. What's going on? Monster match? Okay. Alright, fine. I'll allow it. Giants is still doing his best. Overcast and the Skink Oracle just did more damage than the Beastmen have done this entire game so far, as the Minotaurs and the Giant are still fighting back. But there's still 4 giant dinosaur single entities, and not as many Minotaurs as there used to be. Did he summon a fucking Cygor? He summoned a fucking Cygor. Did that Cygor immediately miss the Shredder of Lustria? Yeah, he did. Was it at max range? Unfortunately not. It was like 20 feet away from him. Go, Cygor, go. You hit it that time. The damage was negligible. Giants having a bad time. Very bad time. The Minotaurs are also routing. Throwing axes have finally arrived, and they will do decent damage. I don't think they have enough ammo left in them to kill all of these single entities, especially with Earthblood spam over the top. Miasma of Despair plus the Shredder of Lustria's special leadership debuff aura makes the Giant actually getting close to routing, which is crazy for a Giant. Giants never rout. With a base 100 leadership, they're usually here till the very end. Where did the Saurus Old Blood go? Oh, he's running off Minotaurs. Okay, I was like, did he die? That's crazy. He couldn't die. Shredder of Lustria getting enfeebling foes, still getting hit with Cygor shots. He has gotten 271 value, and now he has disappeared. Shredder of Lustria is going to finish off the Giant. And the Skink firing squad taking out Centaurs and throwing axes is probably GG. It's looking like GG. Minos are going to charge back in, and they'll charge right back out. As for the actual battles, IDK, maybe the current engine works for guns, maybe not. Yeah. Warhammer 3 needs a new engine. It's a pretty good engine. It's got some problems, but I mentioned it on a live stream the other day, but I don't know of any other game that has, like, these pretty visuals. Like, we give it a lot of shit, but like, this game's cool as hell. The visuals are great. The models generally perform fine. I enjoy it. I enjoy it. And that's all that counts in the end. GG's. Devil with a pretty convincing win to end out the stream. Shredder got about 3,000 value. Looking back, basic Minotaurs did okay, but there's a reason you usually see their great weapon brethren. And then the Vorga is a terrible monster duelist, so the Giant did a lot better. They need a new one for 40k. Yeah, probably. How shooting works. I have a lot of replays I need to go cast. I also need to go cast Holy Fuck again. That was funny. Okay, you want to see some fun shit? You want to see some funny things? I'll show you some funny things. It's late at night. So I have two funny things to show you. I hope the patch didn't break these. I have a rollback, but it shouldn't break these. These have nothing to do with anything. So I was training for my World Cup game, Scaven versus Beastmen. I was working on it with my teammate Hayseed. But there was some shit. So this is one of my earlier builds that I'm not boxing. It was just like Storm Vermin and Clan Rat frontline to hold forever, and then Night Runners and Rat Ogres could peel and help me out. And then I have the Brood Buddies and a Warlock Engineer. Get up, kid. Dude, I'm trying. Hang around. We got you. We got you, friend. It's a fun game. I enjoy it quite a lot. It's got a lot of replay value. Its campaigns are awesome. Single player is awesome. Multiplayer with friends in campaign is fun. Multiplayer online competitive is fun. I think I love Total War. Like, I know it has a lot of problems, and people that don't like it usually have good reasons not to like it, but I personally just fucking love this game. Alright. It's coming up. I've been stalling. So, Malagor Bitchface won't die. And then a Rat Ogre charges him. He goes flying. I don't like that. He got flying. Now he's standing up. And now, take a look at this. So Rat Ogres are pushing him around. A Brood Horror charges him. And he fucking gets up. No. He's not flying yet. Okay, so we charged him. We're swinging at him. He is currently touching us. He has attacked us. Oh, zoopity boopity foop. He's up in the fucking sky like a little piece of shit, and I can't snipe him. I hate it. And I hate it. But don't worry. That's not even the worst one. That's not even the worst one. Hang on. Just hold on. Avalanche What is way worse? Is competitive campaign a thing? No, not really. But hang on. This one's way better. I sent this to CA, and I talked to their developers very extensively about this replay to try and get ranged units fixed. So yeah, something goes terribly wrong here. You just got Space Marine 2 and I'm still playing Darktide. Clearly you have one hobby. I would like it if I didn't get banned so much and Larry double Horsemaster was meta. Fair. Oh, Larry. Sorry, not Horsemaster, Handmaiden. Okay, so here's where the silliness is gonna start. My Avalanche Mortars have fire at will on, and there is plenty of targets, but they're not gonna fire at anything. Now, I talked to CA, and they said it's because a valid target is within their firing arc, so they're trying to shoot at the thing that's closest to us, and they just can't. But it's gonna get a lot weirder before it gets better. So notice, right here, notice where the arrows are pointing. I ordered these dumbasses to face this direction. Let's see what they end up doing with that information. Face this direction. Face this direction. Face over here. Okay, we're facing the correct direction. Yes, we are. As they waddle up the hill, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be glorious. And the arrows disappeared, and they're facing that direction. Not great. Did you see it? You blink and you miss it. I told them to shoot this pile of fucking razor gores. Let's try again. Where's the red arrow? I tell you to shoot at it. It's gonna go really fast. So they're still aiming the wrong way, just being dumbasses. Still aiming the wrong way. When do I give you like a third and a fourth order? I can't get them to turn around. I remember clicking a lot of times. Red arrow disappears. Red arrow disappears. I'm just clicking on them to shoot at the fucking red arrow. Red arrow. Red arrow. Turn. Turn around. And then they just waddle into this melee for no reason. I've given them 5 separate attack orders onto that blob of razor gores right there, and they just won't do it. Now I give them move orders. Look where that move order is. Look at this. There's all these arrows all the way over here. There's no arrow connecting us to those arrows, so I don't know where they're gonna go. And they don't even go all the way over there. They go here, and then they just stop. They just stop here in an entirely different formation. Then they're supposed to be over there. Look at all those arrows over there. They're just not going. And they're just standing here. And then they shoot at Malagor for no reason instead of going over there. And they're gonna shoot my own fucking guys. So I was not pleased with those avalanche mortars. They would not shoot at what I wanted them to. They only wanted to shoot my guys. Scaven, where even your own units betray you. It's true. I know I slowed it down and then nothing happened because I couldn't remember where the orders were, but trust me, there were 5 separate orders, and as soon as you gave the order, the red arrow appeared and disappeared. And the CA guy was explaining it that one of the 12 models was in melee, and the model that was in melee was facing the correct direction. So when I gave the order, essentially what happened is me, Scaven God, because I'm a player, I'm not on the field of battle, Scaven God was like, poison mortars, fire! And the one poison mortar that's facing the correct direction is like, you got it, boss! And the other 11 are like, oh, okay, he said we got it, so we must be facing the right direction. And I'm like, no, turn around. And the guy's like, got it, we're good. I'm facing the right direction, we got it. And the other 11 are like, well, he said we got it, so we don't have to turn around. And I'm like, no, the 11 assholes on the hill, turn around. Nah, dude, Fred's facing the right direction, so like, we don't have to turn around. Fred's got it. I don't give a shit about Fred. Fred's surrounded by Ungors. You need to turn around. With or without Garbo? They had Garbo on. Alright. I gotta go. Goodbye, everybody. You have a good night. Goodbye.